What's going on, everybody? We're getting ready for puck drop here in between the Sens and the Islanders. So the Islanders are 10-6. They're second in the Metro. The Ottawa Senators are 5-8-1 on the season as we are underway. A little bit of early game here for me on the East Coast before we get the late college basketball games the next 2 nights. Shot there for Tyler Mott goes up and on a play, and we get our first stoppage. So 19:45 left goes. We got our first stoppage as Tyler Mott's shot goes up and on a play. So it's going to be Mathew Barzal, Bailey, and Oliver Wahlstrom with Adam Pollock and Ryan Pollock, Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, Anthony Beauvillier, Alexander Romanov, and Nolan Dobson. It's John Gabriel Pajot, Zach Parise, Kyle Palmieri, Casey Zizekas, Matt Martin, and Cal Clutterbuck with Sebastian Aho and Scott Mayfield. On the defensive side, we get another stoppage. I'll go ahead and do the Sens lineup as well. As no couple defensive stops. This is going to be held there by Talbot. So Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, Claude Giroux, Jake Sanderson, and Jacob Bernard Docker. It's Derek Brassard, Alex DeBrincat, Jake Batherson, Eric Brandstrom, and Travis Hamonic. Shane Pinto, Tyler Mott, Matthew Joseph, Mark Kestlick, Parker Kelly, Austin Watson, with Jacob Larson and Nick Holden, because no Thomas Chabot, no Artem Zub, although they're going to be ready by the end of the week, and there already is a cross-check on the other side. So this should be a power play here for the New York Islanders as Branston's going to the box for interference just 22 seconds in. So that's not what they wanted on the side there for Ottawa. I'm going to pull up this box here as we go along too, so we should be good to go here. So it's Mathew Barzal right now toward the left side. What a shot. That bounced off Anders Lee, and this is still on the left side red line as this is picked up now. Spun off the left side red line. Sens trying to get this out. Pellick comes in there as well for the Islanders as this goes back. Noah Dobson's waiting on the high side as he gets the back pass there, bank from Brock Nelson. There's a chance for Barzal. He's still waiting near the left dot, holding, shooting. He's looking for a deflection. Cam Talbot brushed to the side with the goal stick. Picked up now by the Islanders again. Here's Dobson as he's still straddling that line. Barzal couldn't keep the stick on the ice, but now he collects the bank of pass. Fake slap shot by Dobson. He's in the high slot. This is given across. Trying to find Pajot. Pajot in the middle of the slot, still waiting with it. Goes back to Dobson. Now to Barzal. Back on the right wing side. Nice pass across, but it hit the left side of the bar. And there's a broken twig. And we still are underway right now as Barzal holds back in the high slot. Now he's toward the right side dot. Trying to get a diamond shape there are the Ottawa Senators as they've allowed the Islanders to keep this in the whole way. Brock Nelson, back pass from him. Dobson's fake the slapper. Set it up. Good block there by Ottawa as they finally clear and get this one down the ice. They had to be tired, but they held that shape for about, 30 seconds at least to go in the initial part of the power play. So that was a good work there by the Islanders, but a good job by the defense. Talbot's pass gets played and intercepted. So now this goes back to Ryan Pollock. Anthony Beauvillier, cross pass. Pellick lets this one go. And this one is up and on a play, so 5 seconds left to go in the Islanders power play. It's 2-0 in favor of them on the shot side. Mathew Barzal, Noah Dobson, Pellick, and Pollock, they've done a good job. Beauvillier moved it around. Really good looking power play for the Islanders. And you can see why they're 10-6 so far early throughout the season, okay? I understand you don't have a couple of losses in there. You might want to turn into OT ones or whatever, but I get it. You have a 6-game win streak that was kind of snapped there by the Red Wings, and then you come back and win more games. This Islanders team, again, when you think about it, you have Adam Lambert now as the head coach. You want to be able to get back in the playoffs. They felt like they had a good veteran team, and now they just need to go back and stick to it and get better results from Anders Lee and Mathew Barzal. Look, Barzal doesn't have a goal on the season, but he's got 16 assists. So he's got more assists than games already. So he's putting in the action. If he starts getting the goals, this team could get really hot. And who's to say? I know the Devils right now are dominating the Metro, but the Islanders look pretty good right now. So 17 minutes almost left to go here in the first period. John Under with you from the Canadian Tire Center. We're watching the Islanders and the Sens. I get to do an early game. This is the first time I get to see either one of these teams, so it's kind of exciting on that side. So Cam Talbot will play a pass across. And this goes back to Nick Holden, third-line defense here for the Sens, as they'll try to transition this one left to right across the timeline. Get an entry there, but it's offside as DeBrincat. It's a little too far ahead. So we get a stoppage. 16:44. We'll have to go on the first. John on there with you from the Canadian Tire Center. It is the New York Islanders 10-6-0, and the Ottawa Senators 5-8-1. So here is the thing for the Sens, I would say. In the sense of you don't have Zub and Shabbat on the back end line, so that's going to hurt tonight, no doubt about that. Josh Norris a little bit with the shoulder. I don't think it required surgery, but he's going to miss some significant time, probably a couple of months there on that side. You still have Claude Giroux. You still have Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk. You have Alex DeBrincat coming over there from the Chicago Blackhawks in terms of another upside there. You have a lot of talent. So when you do get Josh Norris back and Brady Tkachuk is already dominating, you think this team is in a good spot. They're underachieving this year so far, but still not too bad from what you think you have. Shane Pinto, 8 goals, rookie goal leaders. Manny Beniers with 5, Wyatt Johnson with 4 from the Stars, Cole Perfetti 3 with the Jets, and 3 for Kent Johnson on the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Shane Pinto, he's liking on the third line right now with Tyler Mott and Mathew Joseph. Mathew Joseph is another good player coming over from the Lightning from the trade deadline last year. So picked up now by the Islanders. They try to get that out of their own end. Centered out in front. A chance there for Stützle, and that one just went off his stick. And this goes back inside the office of Ilya Sorokin as Mayfield trying to get this one out right now as he passes this across to Sebastian Aho. Again, there's 2 Sebastian Ahos. One's a defenseman and one's a forward. We're watching the defenseman here for the New York Islanders. It's spelled exactly the same between those 2 guys. So they just talked about that again, right on cue for TSN side. So don't get confused if we think about that tonight. So it's going to be Jean-Gabriel Pageau and a chance to take the draw here. Again, I want to look and see what this Islanders and this Sens team look like. The first time I get to cover any of these teams, I know I just started in January when we were getting the midway point of the NHL season last year. Centered out in front again off the backhand and picked up by Mayfield. Pageau as he comes all the way back to dump this one down the ice. It bounces out of play, but still a good job by JGP there to go ahead and get this one off the backhand and clear this one out because it was dangerous in front of Semyon Varlamov. So again, I need to get my goaltender straight because it had Sorokin starting. They went ahead and scratched that and said Varlamov. So I will change that as far as when we get a commercial stoppage to get the box score and everything else ready. So we know it's Varlamov and Talbot. This shot goes just wide as it stays in the offensive zone here for Ottawa. Long shot gets blocked there by one of the Ottawa players unintentionally, wrapped around the kick plate as the Islanders trying to get this out with Alexander Romanov. Also joining in there as well with Lee. And this goes back into the Islanders' defensive zone, intercepted at the red line here by the Sens, and they'll get this clear. And Noah Dobson, 51 points last season, which was a career high. So a lot of defensive production. They have a lot of good players here on the Islanders, no doubt about that. Even though the third line was Zach Parise, about plus 10 on the season. So some serious production, some serious good plus minus, some even strength goals. That's what does it for you. As this gets dumped in. Picked up now by the Sens as they quickly go left to right. They got a 3-on-2. Low shot. It's bounced out in front of Semyon Varlamov. This is going to stay with Drake Batherson. DeBrincat fires one on with Brassard. And this goes right in the catching glove as Mathew Joseph comes in. Just gives a little stick tap toward one of the Islanders players and we get a stoppage. 14:53 left to go in the first. Great move there by Mathew Joseph. He was able to fire a shot low and then picked up again by Brassard as he fired another wrist shot, and Semyon Varlamov had to make 2 quick saves. And that was a good low shot there, looking for a rebound. Mathew Joseph, 15 points in 25 games played with the Sens. He's come over, plus 12 rating. So good production here, and you would expect that. Again, you have some Lightning players because, look, that team's been to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row. Sometimes you just don't have space for certain guys to play. So why not Ottawa take a chance on somebody like that? It's worked out pretty well. Good couple moves through the middle of the slot there by Ottawa and Tkachuk as this is gloved down, trying to get picked up there. Nice interception. Stützle passes one back across, and this one gets blocked by one of the Islanders and Cal Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck now will try to collect this. Stick came out of his hand as this is picked up now by Brady Tkachuk. Stützle still spinning toward the right wing side. He was the one that made the move all the way toward the entry part of the zone. He still has the pockets. He's just destroying Aho right now. This goes back to Tkachuk. Off the backhand side and held. Brady Tkachuk still with it. Could be a penalty there on the other side against the Islanders as one of the players went down, but we're still live here. No call as this is picked up, but now it's intercepted by the Sens as it stays in the zone. This is passed across toward the first line defensive side of Jake Sanderson and Docker right now. This will put her on the kick plate. Picked up now by Stützle, holding off the backhand. Sweet move as this is still saved. Shot by Holden into the screen. That was some great work there by Stützle and Tkachuk on that first line. They would not be depossessed with the puck. The shot got bounced out of play, but it's going to stay right here when we come right back. Stay tuned.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday gift giving magic for all those project doing, technology loving, tool organizing, good shop working people in your life. Get Black Friday savings all through November at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it, back. Legends of the game return to the court to rewrite the history books. That was amazing.
This holiday season, Red treats Ilya first night double points on all merry and bright gifts and more. PetSmart, anything for pets.
A great story has magic, power, and once in a while, there's miracle. Is that what happened? That's our story.
Back here in Ottawa, the Senators have scores tied in the first period on Saturday. A big loss.
So they're showing the Travis Konechny hit toward the previous play against Thomas Chabot. He should be back toward the end of the week that they're saying, but that was a good collision there, which he sustained an injury. Hopefully it doesn't remain serious, as they're saying it shouldn't be, as we're getting our box score all set up here. I apologize. We'll get right back into the live play-by-play. Picked up now by the Sens. Shot in the slot. Goes just toward the right side of the red line. Off the backhand. Picked up now by Sebastian Aho. He goes with Mayfield. Tried to get this out, but the pass was a little hopeful and intercepted by rookie Shane Pinto. So now the Ottawa Sens turn this one over. Anders Lee off the backhand. Now goes toward the forehand. He fires a rocket of a wrister. And this goes off the blocker side of Cam Talbot. Picked up now as the Sanderson pass goes off the kick plate to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat now holds. Slap pass across. That just missed Batherson and looked dangerous. 4 shots to 2 in favor of the Islanders as the Sens try to get this one back toward the offensive zone. They're going left to right. They're in the all-black unis with the little red striping in the back, the bottom part of it, and it looks pretty sick, to be honest with you. So Jacob Bernard Docker, it's the first-line defense out here right now for the Sens, as he's still holding right now, waiting for his forwards to change. It's Jake Sanderson, as it's now immediately turned over. Now the Islanders, fresh off the change, could make something happen here. Shot into the slot, nicely blocked there by one of the Sens, and this is picked up by Kastelik on the fourth-line side. He's holding off the forehand. He's going to try to leave a drop pass across, nicely read there by the Islanders. And now they look to break out in transition, but good active stick checks there by Ottawa forced them to have to retreat. And this is going to be picked up by Noah Dobson. So Noah Dobson and Alexander Romanov will be out there together between Pollock and Pellick on the first line side. I think Dobson and all of them will be on the first line here today as they get some line changes. John Gabriel Pajot centered out in front. Another opportunity. What a stop by the stick plate of Talbot. Slap shot gets blocked down in front. As the Islanders now trying to press. This has been a good, entertaining game so far. There's been some good shot blocks, some good clears, and some good active play on both sides. Here come the Sens now off of a sauce pass, picked up now by Mott. And this one off of the pad of Varlamov and then goes all the way back into the zone here as Bernard Docker will pick this one up. He's going behind the office of Cam Talbot as they're going to go ahead and try to make some forward changes again. Last time they did this, it was a turnover. The Islanders were able to force and create some shots, and now they get a turnover again through the right side. But Stützle able to skate like crazy to get through. So again, this is the first time we've been able to watch the high pick, the second pick last year, Tim Stützle. Right, he's got some absolute hands as far as to be able to skate, so that's been fun to watch. There's a broken twig toward the right side red line. I believe that belongs to one of the Islanders, but they've had time to go ahead and get a stick. Yeah, and then Sens will stay on side as Brady Tkachuk will get this one in deep. Picked up now as Tkachuk tried to dislodge it off of the hit. Now here's Casey Cizikas. Casey Cizikas holding up the forehand, but his clear hit one of the Sens, and we're almost at the halfway point of the scoreless first period as this is dumped in high off the kick plate, but it goes right to Travis Hamonic as he's able to get this one out toward an empty side. Good active steal there by the Islanders. It's a 3-on-2, but it bounced off of the skate blade of Noah Dobson. Zach Parise able to have a little bit. Now this goes back to Pollock. Pellick will pick this one up. Pellick, sauce pass across to Wallstrom. That got blocked and knocked away from Barzal. Here's a chance for Drake Batherson now to break it. Series of moves. Still tries to get it to Batherson out of the air. That was crazy, but that went just wide. And now here come the Islanders. Islanders lost it there with Wallstrom. DeBrincat off the backhand. Keeps it alive. Now Batherson tried to sauce it to DeBrincat one more time to the left side dot. DeBrincat will glove this one down. Batherson gets knocked off the puck. And now this is intercepted by Holden. Shane Pinto slow to get up. He got hit toward the right side red line. And there was no call. So we'll see if Pinto's okay. He's grimacing as he's going back in toward the bench, so he's not going into the room just yet, as the Sens still have this in their own end. They're taking a little while on their breakouts, trying to be measured. As Holden, it bounces off at him. Alexander Romanov gets cross-checked pretty hard. He wants a call there, and there might be some actual fisticuffs, but the camera cut away from it, and now they are getting a call, as I think one of the Sens will be going to the box now. And I think that was some retaliation from the Shane Pinto hit that wasn't called. Come right back. This is getting pretty good. Hey, what's going on, Paul? How you doing? What's up today? Sorry, sometimes I got all these other windows open. I'm still trying to get all my other stuff together.
Because the best that ever do it are back. That was amazing.
All right, so I need to go ahead and get, I believe, Cam Talbot's record, so we're good there. I need to get good on that record, good on this. All right, we should be all set now.
That you've seen everything you want to see, or have you realized you can't live away?
Oh, right.
Has never been better. That.
It's been a good contest so far between two teams. Like I said, I haven't got a chance to actually watch this year too much. I mean, I understand I saw a little bit of the Red Wings and the Islanders, but two teams actually cover and watch a full game and do a report on. I've enjoyed what I've watched right now in the sense that this has been good action, both sides. They show Shane Pinto. He's got the glove off right now. He might be going to the dressing room. We're going to take a look on the TSN side. It was just a standard hit there by Dobson, but again, it was face to glass, which was the part of what was the problem, and there was a retaliation on the other side there by the Sens, which caused one of the Sens to go to the box. So this is going to be the second power play here for the Islanders. They were pretty good on their first, although they didn't score. So the Islanders win the draw as this goes back to Pellick toward the left side red line now. This is dumped in for the forwards here as they get this change behind the office here of Talbot, shot him through the screen, and this gets picked up by Talbot somehow through the massive traffic. It's 7-4 in favor of the Islanders. We're still scoreless, about 9 minutes left to go in the first period. John Underwood, you're watching the TSN feed. I'm at the Canadian Tire Center. Hopefully I got that one right, between the Islanders and the Sens right now. The Islanders are 10-6. The Sens are 5-8-1. Although this looks like a Sens team that absolutely can score and play well at home from what I'm seeing right now. But again, with no Thomas Chabot and some of the other back end injuries on defense, that's where I'm wondering whether or not the Islanders can take advantage. So Noah Dobson gets the long stretch outlet pass. This tries to bounce again to Anders Lee from Brock Nelson. Picked up now by Barzal. This goes to Nelson toward the left side dot. Dobson tries to bounce this one to Barzal, but it bounced off the stick too hard, and it bounced back to Barzal near the right side of the defensive line. This goes back to Dobson. Dobson going to try to power play quarterback this thing as he leaves it now for Barzal, but that's a contested pass. I'm not really quite sure what the Islanders want to do just yet. Even if you want to just quarterback this thing again with your defense, just throw it out there and go to the open space and start moving. That's how you get things open. And a shot scores. So Wahlstrom, after two absolute opportunities where I didn't even think they could get in the zone, Wahlstrom just fires the thing 5-hole past Talbot and it goes in. Color me surprised on that one. They couldn't even get an entry, and Wahlstrom said, "Hey, I got the puck. I'm not going to do too much with it. I'm just going to fire this right on and see if it goes in." And bada boom, bada bing. There you go. The Islanders have a 1-0 lead. That was a wicked wrister, but I mean, that was a complete open 5-hole all day. The drive-through was open, and Wahlstrom was able to park the car, put that in there, and get his order, because that was an easy goal right there. 1-0 for the Islanders. Wahlstrom, credit with him with the shot, though, because again, after you have two opportunities where it looked like you should have been able to enter the zone, that's why the coaches are coming over there and saying good job. So the 5th goal of the season for Oliver Wahlstrom. That gives the Islanders the early 1-0 lead, and Anders Lee and Mathew Barzal get the secondary and tertiary assist there. So this is dumped in deep. The Islanders are 5-0 when scoring first this season, so that should tell you all you need to know right now. But I think this has been a good back-and-forth game so far. We'll see if the Sens, off the one breakout pass, can do something. So this gets picked up and knocked out of the way. Pellick will watch this one go by, try to get picked up there by Stützle and Tkachuk. Is now Kel Clutterbuck. We'll get this one off the backhand side. Get this dumped in deep. The Sens are 4-4 at home, but they're 1-4-1 on the road. So thankfully for their sake, they are at home right now. There is a lot of fans here. As you would expect, it's a Canadian team, and you want to see what they're going to do against one of the better teams in the Metro. Second best at that is the long shot gets gloved and held there by Cam Talbot. 7:08 left to go in the first period. John on here with you from the Canadian Tire Center. So good contest so far, but again, it's one of those situations. I didn't have a really definitive goal call there for Wahlstrom as he's back on the ice, because honestly, I was so surprised the two entries looked so poor. Wahlstrom just said, "I'm not going to take any opportunities. Want to get a shot on net." He ended up scoring, so that's always pretty good on that side. So Barzal gets the draw. Drops it back there for Dobson. That goes way wide. Talbot's got to get back in the crease, but there's all sort of bodies there as Barzal will collect. Aho through the screen. This gets picked up now by Mayfield. He tried to put it right back in the middle of the blue paint, and now the Sens will pick this up. They're going to bounce this on a play. This is not going to be a penalty, but it's going to stay in the zone where the Islanders have another chance to be able to get an offensive zone draw. So they're showing Tkachuk, Norris, and Wahlstrom. They're all playing in this game right now for Team USA. They won the gold medal in 2017 of the Under-18 World Championship, the IAHF. And again, that's what we covered in the summertime, and I had a lot of fun of that. And between Team Canada, that was some of the craziest stuff that I've seen, where it was able to be saved before it crossed the line, and then Kent Johnson scored the goal. So hopefully we get a chance to do that again when the summer hits again. But we're in the midst of snow here as we're broadcasting from the Michigan side. This gets picked up now by the Sens defense. This goes back to Claude Giroux. Stützle will intercept. He's going to backhand this thing through two different players. Bank this pass to Claude Giroux. So definitely know who the primary puck handler is. As Stützle tries to dislodge Mayfield off the check. Tkachuk will fire this one on. This bounces out in front, but good diving poke check. Brock Nelson's got Anders Lee. Instead, he goes for a deeper pass to Noah Dobson. This gets intercepted by Tkachuk. Tkachuk, Stützle, backhand pass set up nicely, goes just wide. Picked up now by Stützle. Holden with the blast. as this bounces off. Claude Giroux trying to pick this up. This gets centered out in front. Big stop there with a pad there by Varlamov. And this goes all the way back into the defensive end. 5:45 left to go in the first. It's a goal by Wahlstrom for the Islanders that gives them a 1-0 lead right now over the Sens. Again, this is an early contest for me. This is a Eastern Standard Time, so chance for me to get this game in there early before we get some late college basketball games between Tuesday and the Wednesday side. We're going to take a break and come right back. We're going to finish up this first period most likely. Stay tuned. Appreciate anyone else that's jumped in between the Twitter Spaces and the Facebook side. As always, you can get at me Facebook, Twitter Spaces, YouTube at John Reinott, always on that side of it. If you ever want to hang out, listen, follow along, ask your questions.
Like snowmen, streamlights, and plenty of trees. We work together, preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings, all in November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make the holiday easy. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. Legends of the game return to the court to rewrite the history books.
Oh, man. Yeah, so the schedule for this week is going to be Duke, Kansas. That's going to be on ESPN, I believe, Uno. And then ESPN2 might have Gonzaga, Texas on Wednesday. Thursday should be Cooper Hopkins and myself for Tampa Bay and Calgary. Friday is going to be the off day, and Saturday, if I can get to it, should be Vegas, Edmonton. Or if it's going to be a very early game, it'll be 1 o'clock start there on the California side for Cooper Hopkins. That would be Florida and Calgary. But 2 college basketball games tomorrow. Should be able to do both of those. Back underneath the action now. As this is picked up by Barzal, he's going to fire one on. Varlamov's going to make the save. It's going to bounce back to him and then go just wide. As Batherson didn't get a chance to get a stick on it, he could have had a prime time opportunity for a rebound on Nick Holden. Look at this one here for Larson. Larson going to make his NHL debut here for the Sens. He's going to pick this one up. Intercepted, slap shot right at the line. Goes just wide of Talbot toward the left side red line now. Sens trying to find this. In between their feet as Holden will come together there. Larson able to work nicely through a couple of Islanders. This one gets flipped down the ice. Picked up now by Anders Lee off the interception of Brock Nelson. We'll get this one down deep. It's the 166th NHL game here for Larson, but he's making his Sens debut tonight, as we said. So picked up now, Travis Hamonic lost it. And now here's a chance for Barzal off the backhand. Going to leave it here for a teammate. Nice setup there for Nelson. It's just picked up now by Alexander Romanov. Shot into the screen. One of the Islanders lost their stick. The Sens got to get this out quickly there as this bounces off of Holden. This is going to stay toward the neutral zone now as this is picked up by Mathew Barzal. Barzal, nice saucer pass across, and with the speed and accuracy on that pass, you can definitely see why he's got 16 assists on the season. Good neutral zone battle right now, won by the Sens as they're going to try to go left right across your radio dial. Batherson with DeBrincat. Long pass for the defense to pick this one up off the shot. And this goes back as Hamonic gets worked off the puck. Alexander Romanov, nice deep through traffic. Picked up now by Wahlstrom, the lone goal scorer, but the pass was too far, and he lost it. So, DeBrincat, low shot. That one gets fought off there by Varlamov, trying to look for a tip, goes way wide. Picked up now by Noah Dobson there momentarily, but good work there by the Sens. Alex DeBrincat from Batherson. Slap shot for Hamonic. He fanned on it. This stays with the Sens, though. In around the kick play now for DeBrincat. DeBrincat with Batherson. Batherson worked off the puck. There isn't a Sen in there, so this gets floated down the ice. And we'll see if this is last touched by anybody. No, it's not. So this is going to be a icing as Batherson, DeBrincat. I thought they had a pretty good shift there as well. Again, I know I said this a couple times, but I can say this because I haven't watched these teams as far as doing a full broadcast to get a chance to cover this game. It was a nice job to do a game early for some of the other late ones, but between the Sens and between the Islanders, I've been thoroughly entertained about what I'm watching. And again, I might have to change my late game assignment if I can't do a game with Cooper Hawkins at 1 o'clock his time, 4 o'clock my time Saturday. And for Florida and Calgary, I might have to go to that Rangers Kraken game on the Saturday side because Seattle has been very entertaining to watch as well. So it's a lot different now over the last couple of seasons where you think you have, I'll just say this honestly, a top end line with the first 8 teams where you already know they're going to make the playoffs. There is a lot of parity in the league right now, especially in the Eastern Conference. And it's been fun to watch because you don't know who's going to take it right now. I don't think anyone expected the New Jersey Devils to be as good as they are, but for the Buffalo Sabres, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. Slow shot gets picked up there by Varlamov. Pelech, he got worked over by a couple of Sens. Tkachuk tried to center it out front. Bodies are tumbling everywhere. It's chaos in front of Varlamov's net. He makes the save with the shoulder. Wow. So this is picked up now by Ottawa in their own end. That was Tkachuk that tried to center that one out in front, and when it finally got there, somehow a shoulder got a piece of it for Varlamov to keep that out. That should have been a goal there for Ottawa, as bodies were everywhere. They were doing the tumbles. I think that was Mayfield also as well doing the tumbles back there, but somehow able to survive. Intercepted now. Batherson tried to send one across. Long slap shot for Sanderson. That one goes just wide. This is picked up now by Bernard Docker. Brassard will get this one in deep as he gets worked off the puck. Claude Giroux trying to find this now. Brassard. This goes back to Docker as this one goes just wide. Tyler Mott now trying to get this one in deep. Intercepted here by the Islanders momentarily. Nice pocket pick. Centered out in front. Picked up now by the Islanders as they were just staying in front of Semyon Varlamov just to make sure that puck didn't go through. But good work there by the active forecheck of Ottawa, and I would damn near say that this game has been pretty dead even on certain opportunities there. If it wasn't just for a Wallstrom 5-hole shot that went deep after a couple of entries, it didn't work. So 1:26 left to go as Johnson and someone else is going at him. Johnson's throwing some punches, immediately gets the takedown. The refs are trying to break this up before it can even get started. I don't know who that is right there for the Sens. Couple punches and then a quick takedown, so there wasn't really much to that fight if you want to even call it that. The refs wouldn't even let them get going. But that's going to take them right into the dressing room anyway, as that was Watson on the fourth line. So Austin Watson, he was the one that took a couple meat cleavers to the face and got knocked down pretty quickly there. So we'll see what happens there on this replay. As Tkachuk, they're showing him get the steal over Pelech. It was played across. Tkachuk centered it out in front. And then all of a sudden, as Tkachuk's on the doorstep, another shot just goes off the right shoulder of Semyon Varlamov and stays out. So, man, oh man, was that close. And the Sens looked dangerous there, but they didn't score. They haven't scored just yet. It's 1-0. Wallstrom with the lone goal here for the Islanders. $1:20 left to go in an entertaining first period, I will say that. Stützle, 39 career goals, most among 2020 draft picks. So from a couple of years ago, I apologize. Not last year for Stützle. But man, he looks really good too. It's the first time for me actually getting a chance to watch him. So shot goes just wide by DeBrincat. Picked up now by the defense as this is slammed right across the kick plate. And here's a chance for Varlamov to hold in between these posts and show his movement because these shots have been moving everywhere right now. Sens have not played that bad as Hamonic fires that one into the screen, former Islander. As this one gets blocked off the side. Another shot gets fought off there by Varlamov. Shots now 13-11. Picked up now. They have to move this on the other side. It should be 13-13. They got the shots on the wrong side of the board. As this is picked up now by the Islanders in their own end. So it's Pulock to Pelech as they play this one just across. Pulock doesn't have anybody around him because the Pelech passed a little too far. He didn't glove it one down, and then they iced it. So that wasn't too sharp there by the Islanders. So this should give Ottawa another opportunity to get something going with the offensive zone draw. 23.6 seconds left to go in the first. John Under with you from the Canadian Tire Center. Get a little bit of early contest. Got about a 5:40 Eastern start, so a little bit earlier on my side because we have a couple late college basketball games tomorrow. Some top 25s in action. It should be some fun on ESPN, ESPN2. Watching this on ESPN Plus tonight between the Islanders and the Ottawa Senators, and full game coverage will follow. Hopeful Sports Guide, WordPress.com. Bounced off in front. Stutzla, nice backhanded side. Just able to keep that alive there for Tkachuk. Pinto's out there as well. And is now we're down to 3 seconds. That's going to be the last dump in, and that's going to end the first period. As the Islanders will go into the dressing room up 1-0 against the Ottawa Senators. Very entertaining first period. We'll see if the second period can be just as high-flying action as much as the first. I'm enjoying this one a lot. Stay tuned. We'll come right back. Call the second period in a moment. So one of the, before I actually go to the intermission side of it, I know we're done with the official call of the first period. One of the sideline guys for TSN for Ottawa actually took a stick up to the face. As because they're always sitting in the middle of the booth like that, just to try to get the game action and relay to you what's going on. One of them took a stick to the face, and it was already swollen up pretty good, and that was just happening before the end of the first period.
Was a night at the Home Depot at every location. A night in the stores is a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you need, like snowmen, streamlights, and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our swim for Black Friday savings all through November. What we do next is always fantastic because we have the tools to make your holiday easy. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it back.
This NBA 2K phone commercial is really not going to get annoying when I've already seen it like 14 times. Come on, guys. They need more virtual currency with 2K23 arcade mode, I guess.
I'm Coastal Lodge. I might sound fancy, but I'm pretty down to earth. No flashy lights or big city noise here. I'm looking for someone who enjoys the soothing sounds of the ocean. It might have a rocky exterior, but I've got soft pillows and breakfast in the house. So if you're looking for a warm place to stay,
So the official power play goal was the one lone marker. 11:53 of the first. It was Oliver Wahlstrom from Honors Lee and Mathew Barzal. Again, I made this note toward the broadcast. But we'll make it again for the intermission part of it. Again, no full intermission because it's just me. In this instance, I'll just get story notes together. But Mathew Barzal has 17 points on the season. All of them are assists. He does not have a goal, but he still got 17 points, and he's already a plus player. So doesn't matter if you're not getting the goals. If you're giving that many assists anyway, and you're getting points per game that are already over one, you're still doing very, very well. And if he gets the goal scoring going on top of the playmaking that he's already shown, I mean, my God, that is excellent there. Just to even have 17 points, you don't even have a goal.
In that first period, here is half of the top sheet pairing for the Senators, along with Fort Miller.
How does it change things with his blue line?
you missed a couple guys. He made it on the down, so we'll match that play a little better.
Jake Sanderson gets you 3 minutes. What's your advice to him as a young player?
Nothing. Just keep having fun and keep getting better. He's a special talent, so that's what all season. He skates up the end. He's had every game. He's getting better again. So it's a pleasure playing with him. And it's a pleasure for them watching him for a long time.
How does Kelly Penny with a wrong-handed stick?
I don't know. I broke my stick later in the period too, so I got to 3 already this period. So hopefully leave that one over.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
Something about the Wilbur in the nation's capital tonight. We are at the intermission. Mark, Frankie, and Laura here with you once again, and we're talking off the top about how Ottawa was to build off of their strong performance Saturday in Philly. And Mark, right off the top, 22 seconds into the game, they find themselves the man down.
Yeah, Laura, if I'm DJ Smith, one of the main things I'm preaching in that locker room prior is discipline. No Thomas Shabbat, no Artem Zoom, and then of course Orchestrum takes that penalty almost immediately at the start of the first period there. So it puts them to the test early on. Not an ideal one either, very far from their own zone, but they adjust. And they did a really good job on this first PK. No one was really running around, a little chaotic. We're starting to run to the bench, but a smart play. You're going to give up an opportunity, no blood there, and then a couple good blocks. Big block by Tyler Mott. There's another one afterwards of Matthew Joseph getting in the shot lanes. Cam Talbot able to see a lot of these shots, but then another penalty. Austin Watson catching Rod behind the net with a cross check. Not ideal, and Anderson picks apart the Sens defense on the injury. Oliver Wallstrom just takes advantage right away. So, you're going to look at the averages here. You're not really deep on defense. You're missing some significant players. You got to stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, Mark, when I look at those 2 penalties, the first one, admittedly, I think is more deserving of a penalty. The second one is a soft call any day of the week. But when we're looking at the goals, the goal and how it's scored, you want to create 2-on-2 right at the blue line. And the Sens did a pretty good job of that. And that's the Islanders just kind of understanding that everyone's going to be flooding that part of the ice. And you make a good pass across for Wallstrom. And any time it goes across, that slot line in the middle of the ice, you're talking about your percentages going up for a goal, and that's exactly what happens. But Mark, I want to get into the transition game for Ottawa, and we know you need a really good transition game, but for the Ottawa Senators tonight, there's 2 reasons that really stick out for me. You're not going to carry the pace of play against this Islanders team, especially with the short-handed, players that you have. So you need to be opportunistic. So you make good stops at the blue line, you get it going the other way, and the challenge for them after that is going to be how can you turn rush chances into sustained offensive zone time. Then the other thing is, and Jamie McClellan referred to it during the broadcast, in the second half of that first period, the Islanders' forecheck got going, and it was big, it was fast, and it was heavy. And the better of a job you're doing at stopping those transitions at the blue line and getting going the other way, the less those Islanders guys are going to be forechecking and playing in your own zone. So it's there's 2 main reasons why these guys have to have a good transition game.
And those Islanders red hot coming into this game with the winners of 8 of their last 10 games. So the Senators down a goal heading into the second, but of course today's the day Daniel Atkinson gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. He sat down with Michael Parker. Listen to that interview.
This is a personalized app. It helps you find good ideas. This is data about one. And here's Greg. Sadly, we have a good idea. You see, you can discover a small business at any moment. Oh look, it's that moment when a good idea helps make a moment maybe better. And the second idea. Good idea, sort these out. Personalized apps by them.
Was a night at the Home Depot. At every location, a night in our stores, see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you need, like snowmen, string lights, and plenty of trees. We work for night preparing our slip for Black Friday savings, all for no deadline. And what we do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. That was amazing.
Okay, some stats in the first period here for you. Shots 13-10 in favor of the Islanders, hits 13-6. in the same spot. Face-offs the same 12-8 advantage. And 1-for-2 were the Islanders in the power play. The Sens didn't have a power play opportunity in that period. It was a goal from the 11:53 mark from Oliver Wahlstrom on the power play from Anders Lee and Mathew Barzal. Barzal got his 17th assist of the season. They couldn't get entry a couple times. Wahlstrom just fired a shot 5-hole trying to get something going off of a offensive zone draw. It turned out to be a goal because, again, the space couldn't be any bigger there for him to shoot at, as Varlamov gave up a goal or Talbot gave up a goal I don't believe that he should have, as it's 1-0. But I've enjoyed the fast-paced action on both sides. Again, the TSN broadcast side with Gord Miller had mentioned that they don't believe Ottawa can stay up in that same kind of pace because obviously you don't have Chabot and Artem Zub on the backhand side for the Sens. But still, I'm enjoying it as a broadcaster, so I don't think anyone else who gets a chance to watch this stuff. You can check it out on ESPN Plus for the early contest. It's been pretty fun to watch this back and forth hockey game so far. And again, getting a chance to watch Tim Stützle for the first time, the first period, and his stick handling for the second-year player, he does it with speed, he does it with intensity, and he does it with confidence, as he was able to get through between 2-3 players at times to be able to get entry. So I do think it might be a little too soon for Ottawa to go ahead and dictate all their success. I'm going to say that to you. But I do think going forward, when you get Norris back, you get some of those guys in the back end back next week. When you get Norris back, you get some of your actual forwards and everything else situated. Because Josh Norris, that's a huge loss. Again, for a couple months, the Oxford, Michigan native. So get a chance to see the former Wildcat for the local side when he does come back. I'm looking forward to that. But I think this is going to be a good team. I really do. But I just don't think it's time yet for Ottawa. I know that there's a lot of expectations once you get Claude Giroux, and I can totally understand that. But it also comes down to there's certain teams in the Eastern Conference that just didn't perform last year, and the Islanders would be one of them because when you're going back into Coliseum, in the sense of it where you're going to, they had a long road stand last season, just like the Arizona Coyotes do now. I think they had 13 straight on the road, where right now the Arizona Coyotes have 14 straight on the road as they're playing at Arizona State University, where Spencer Torkelson played for the Detroit Tigers on the baseball side. So they're playing in a college campus, are the Arizona Coyotes, and then for the Islanders, they had a long road stretch before they even got back into their home building. And I think when you get those long stretches, that absolutely buries you. And that's why the Islanders, I think, were a little bit behind the 8 ball, and not to their own doing. That's just the way that it was with the schedule. And also, I would throw out there, although we didn't expect the New Jersey Devils to be able to win 9 straight, one of those situations where they've had so many high first-round draft picks, isn't it finally time for them to get moving forward? Isn't it finally time for the chasms in the Eastern Conference between all the other teams? Like, you had your last 8 going into the playoffs as, the Caps and the Bruins and the wildcard spots all over 100 points. Nobody else after those 8 teams were even close to making the playoffs, and that was like a month and a half still left to go in the season, and you already knew what the 8 teams would be. There wasn't as much parity. Now with all these teams kind of doing what they're supposed to do, that should cut down on the large disparities of points and make things interesting this year, and that's why it's been fun.
From the side, I think that from behind is a penalty. There was no penalty.
I appreciate anyone following along on the Twitter Spaces side, on the YouTube side. If you ever want to get in touch with me, I'll go ahead and throw that in there. I'll just put this in the box now where we're in the middle of our intermission.
It's obviously borderline, but not something you see today much. When you're going to the great home, hockey home, and who's playing, who you want to see. Obviously, Lemieux, Gretzky, Eichmann, Sorokin as well. He was a pioneer for the Swedish hockey. How do you feel to be one of them?
All you got to do is throw an @ on that side, and you will have this one, and then I'll just throw this in there anyway. Don't use it all that much, but if you want to go ahead and follow along, I'll throw those in there for you. So all you got to do is just throw an app. But here's both the handles that you can reach me. If you ever want to get in touch, if you ever want to know what I'm covering, or you want to request a coverage, hey, if you guys want to request a coverage, if there's certain stuff that you guys want to talk about and cover as far as games or topics or things like that, you let me know, and I will discuss them. So, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at John Reinhardt, Instagram, TVU Gunslinger. It's just the PS5 gamer tag side. I probably will, because the Friday I'll be off. So let me pull this up here right now for anyone else that is in here. So here is my official coverage for the week. Obviously, we got Islanders in Ottawa today at 5:30. So that's my assignment for tonight. It's a little bit early on my Eastern side, which is good for me. Tuesday, Wednesday, going to be staying up late with you. It's going to be college basketball doubleheader Tuesday, Wednesday. So Tuesday will be Duke and Kansas at 9:30. And then Wednesday, I'll be covering the Gonzaga Bulldogs and Texas Longhorns at 9:30. Tuesday, Wednesday. So a couple college basketball assignments. Thursday, we'll be back on the ice. It'll be Calgary and Tampa Bay with Cooper Hopkins. I imagine we are going to be able to get at least one game in this week, so I'm going to circle that Thursday contest as one. And if not, it'll be Colorado, Carolina solo for me. Those will both be 7 Eastern times. Friday, I will be off. I'm anticipating getting my Tactics Ogre Reborn copy for PS5. I kind of want to take that time on Friday, chill out a little bit, play that game, get squared away, because I haven't really played anything new in a few months, to be honest with you guys. I've been trying to go at this pretty hard. And then Saturday we will go back to back on the ice. It'll either be Vegas, Edmonton, if I can cover that on ESPN Plus at 10 p.m., or if Cooper Hopkins is available, but again, he's in the California side, so the 4 p.m. Eastern for me will be 1 for him. I don't think you're going to do anything on that Saturday. He's going to be busy, so probably won't be doing Calgary, Florida. So at least you'll see me tomorrow between Duke and Kansas and the Zags and the Texas Longhorns, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern. I will be here on ESPN, ESPN2 for those 2 high-profile college basketball games. So look forward to that. That's what I'm doing in this week. But Friday, for sure, I will not be doing any coverage there because I do want to play a little bit of that game and kind of chill out. So I gave you a little bit of a report of what I'm working on for the week. I gave you a little bit of the intermission recap as we're still waiting to get underway for the second period. It's a 1-0 lead for the Islanders over the Sens. And then when we get into the second period and get to the intermission, I'll give you a look around the league of what's going on.
The Ottawa Senators are back on the heels early on because you're right. It's not just the fourth line of the New York Islanders. It's all 4 lines. They're in on pucks. They've got plan in place. They get pucks back to the point, and they try and get everything to the front of the net. But Ottawa adjusted. They went on the forecheck as well. They're very quick to pucks and trying to turn pucks over, win those loose puck battles. Brady doing a very good job in the offensive zone, so he still gets an opportunity to score towards the net. And as the period went on, there was that slight adjustment for the forwards of the Ottawa Senators. They got their feet going, created a couple quality chances. Shots at 12-11. Islanders up 1-0 on the power play goal, but it's more about an opportunity for the Ottawa Senators. Keep their feet moving. They got to get on the forecheck and create some opportunity to get back into this game.
All right, let's get a little bit of some cereal in here. We'll get some wake and some water before we actually get some food. Second period now underway. It's the Sens with the puck position. They're going to be going right to left across your radio dial. Immediately, this one gets iced. So 19:53. Both teams don't really need to worry about changing as we're just underway here in the second period. John, I'm here with you from Canadian Tire Center, it's 12 shots to 10 in favor of the Islanders, but more importantly for them on the scorecard round, they got the lead courtesy of Oliver Wahlstrom. Power play goal. It was kind of one that was fortuitous a little bit. Couple entries just weren't able to get in there, and then Wahlstrom fires 5-hole against Cam Talbot and scores. Long shot in there by Pellick. Gets called this up by Talbot and held. So we had a center ice draw twice, and then we had a shot in by Talbot that was held there from Pellick. That's where we start right now in the second period. The first win with the Sens was on Saturday against Philadelphia, where they made 37 saves. And how about the Philadelphia Flyers in terms of Carter Hart? Are you thinking low-key MVP right now as far as everything else keeping them going? Because it kind of just seems like he's keeping that team afloat, is it not? So Mathew Barzal, and on the draw against Stützle. And we'll see if anyone's getting kicked out right now. It is Tim Stützle. So we'll see who comes in here for Tyler Mott. There's a good mix of lines here for DJ White, I guess, if you want to go about it that way. And Barzal wins the draw. He picks it up now. He's got this toward the right side red line, holding off against Mott. Off the backhand, still going through between three Senators, tried to sauce a backhand pass, and that one got picked off by Mott. So a good stick handle anyway. As now, this goes a fighting penalty that's still being served, as they said, on the TSN side. As we're 5-on-5, but you have two guys that are in the box right now. Picked up, Mott trying to find this. It's just turnstile all over the place right now for the Sens, as the Islanders will go left to right across your radio dial. Oliver Wahlstrom, lone goal scorer, lost it there, but Jake Sanderson. Sanderson will get this one down. Brady Tkachuk, he shot it into the 5-hole. Varlamov, he couldn't locate it there momentarily, but there was no other Sen in sight. And Varlamov able to make the save. So 19:04 left to go in this second stanza. It is a 1-0 lead for the New York Islanders. And again, I mentioned this a little bit in the first period that I kind of liked. Again, no Chabot, no Zub on the backhand side for the Sens, but I kind of liked watching the Sens right now and the Islanders first time this season as far as covering a full game. And watching Stützle stick handle at speed, man, that guy's got some absolute skill. Tkachuk as well. As Tkachuk gets knocked off the puck, and Romanov will play this one ahead. As this bounced away from Pellick, picked up now by the Islanders defense as they'll circle back around and try to go left to right one more time. They dump this in across the red line. Picked up now by Batherson. As this goes around the kick play, this falls right back to him in between the right side dot and Tim Stützle. A toe handle drag as he gets knocked down. And again, I wouldn't imagine somebody like that just falls down on their own. Stützle, he fell down as he was trying to toe drag in between two defenders that took a stick out there. And Stützle is going to get it now. Claude Giroux, pass across. Stützle, extra pass to Tkachuk. Tkachuk trying to put it into Giroux toward the middle of the slot. And now the Ottawa Senators will get their first power play of the game. And we'll see who this is going to be on. I'll pull up my ESPN box score. We do get the call. It's going to go against the Islanders, so this will put the Sens on the power play. And we'll see what this is going to be on. Kyle Palmieri, he's going to get the tripping monitor against Stützle. So we'll get a chance to see right now, or at least I will, what this power play is going to actually look like. The Sens are 4-4 at home. Not good on the road, but thankfully for them, they are at home right now, and they're playing a pretty good game. It's Shane Pinto, Giroux, Brassard, DeBrincat, and Brandstrom. So Brandstrom is the lone defender right now. Shane Pinto, the rookie, is going to take the draw against Casey Cizikas. He's going to win it. So Brandstrom from DeBrincat. Brandstrom's got it now. On the high slot, pass across to the right side. Got for DeBrincat looking for the deflection. And this goes back to Shane Pinto. Back pass to DeBrincat, but he couldn't find it. And now this goes back to Brandstrom. Holding on his Pinto. Looking for the pass across to DeBrincat again off the finish. And this bounces off Brassard and cleared down the ice. That was close there for DeBrincat. He would have had an absolute tap-in for a goal. As Pelican Mayfield get their change, and here comes Brandstrom. Brandstrom with the back pass is going to leave it now for Brassard. He's going to try to get the entry there. Claude Giroux. This goes to Brassard now toward the left side dot. Toe drag and hold. Brandstrom gets this one to DeBrincat. DeBrincat now back to Brandstrom, holding that line. Claude Giroux. Now to Brandstrom in the high slot. DeBrincat with a slapper, and that's patted away there by Varlamov as he gets a couple of taps. Brandstrom, Giroux. Now on the right dot, Giroux holding, still surveying. This goes back in behind the cage. DeBrincat will pick it up. Now to Brandstrom, back in the high slot. Slot pass to Giroux. On the right dot, good active stick check, but Brandstrom's going to pick this up. DeBrincat holds, gives to Branston, wires a slap shot, it's loose, and now one of the Islanders helps put it in the catching glove of Varlamov, and we get a stoppage. 43 seconds left to go on the first power play of the game there. That was a backhanded no-look pass from Brassard to Alex DeBrincat right to the middle of the blue paint, but it was just cleared away by a host of Islanders, maybe Casey Cizikas as well, as that could have been dangerous. Face-off win by the Islanders, and they get this one cleared down as Jake Sanderson will have to go back and check up. And behind the defensive side, Stützle with a no-look pirouette backhand pass. My goodness, the hands on this guy. Stützle tried to do too much there, though. Now it's a turnover. This is Pajot. He was going short side, and Talbot able to make a nice glove save. He had a lot of chance to maybe possibly pick cherries, but the Islanders held to the very last second to try to get Talbot to make a move and get a shot on. I like that there from the Islanders, especially off the shorthanded side, as Casey Cizikas was trying to get a shorthanded bid. So good clear, good shot on there by the Islanders after a good power play. This has been a good back end of the kill here by New York. They've won 8 of their last 10. That's from the Sportsnet side of it. So trying to go 9 of 11 here are the Islanders, and that's why they'd be sitting second in the Metro. But no one could have expected the New Jersey Devils. I guess maybe at some point you would think with all the high picks, but nine in a row here for the New Jersey Devils. They're first in the Metro. The Islanders are second, and Carolina, I believe, is still third right now. Picked up by Batherson. This gets knocked away. The Ottawa power play, I should say, is over. The Islanders have killed the penalty as this goes back in behind the cage of Varlamov. Long dump pass. This is going to go to Kyle Palmieri. Pass across. Oh, he couldn't finish it. There was Anders Lee. Wide open goal, and he missed it. And now here comes the other way for Brandstrom as he fires that one deep. Picked up now by Pelech. Anders Lee. He's being worked over. Brock Nelson gets this now. Nelson holding off the backhand. Nice skate through. 3 sends. Nelson still working with it. Gives it to Anders Lee on the right side red line. Pollock can find it just before it crossed the line. He's going to have to go back and pick this up now, but good active stick check there by Ottawa. Knocks this one all the way back. Anders Lee with Pelech and Pollock. Pollock has it now. Extra pass from Nelson. This gets picked up by Talbot. He's going to have to play this quickly there as Docker will play this across with Mott. Mott loses it momentarily and now picked up by Alex DeBrincat. Stick handle in between his legs. Trying to be the first to get to it now. He beats Sebastian Aho to the puck. Yes, the defensive one, as this is picked up now by the Sens. Long slap shot from Larson. That gets blocked out in front of them. Here comes Kyle Palmieri. Palmieri will just dump this one in. Maybe the defense can go and get some changes. It's what they're doing right now for Wayne Lambert's squad. Picked up now by the Sens in their own end after a long dump pass. DeBrincat. Nice sauce across. Oh, missed the net. A chance for Ottawa and Drake Batherson, as that was close. And now here's Mathew Barzal. Good drop pass there across Wallstrom, the power play goal. He's the one that tried to center it out in front. It was patted aside there by Talbot. Picked up now by Claude Giroux. And now here's a chance for Brady Tkachuk. Tried to stick handle in front to himself. Picks it back up in between 2 Islanders, and Wallstrom has to come all the way back and help. And now here are the Islanders with Barzal. Barzal working his way into the high slot pass to Noah Dobson. Dobson will hold. Looking for the cross pass. Nice deflection with active stick check. And now here's Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk off the backhand. Power move toward the net as he almost got dislodged off the puck, but he wired the backhand wide. Cal Clutterbuck now coming the other way. Pass across, and the high slide jumping out of the way was Clutterbuck to try to make sure that he could partially screen Talbot. Picked up now. Batherson lets this one go. This bounces up and out of play. 13:44. The north and south between these two teams is a chef's kiss right now. I'm enjoying this game. Still 1-0 Islanders as we're getting close to the middle of the second. Come right back.
Here at the Home Depot, we
Every once in a while, that miracle is luck would have it. That's our story.
He's going to advance that puck. It starts with Kyle Palmieri. The Islanders lead on the back door.
We're just going to be getting close to starting the action again here. We're getting some highlights here from the TSN package between both teams. I'm telling you guys, up and down the ice, this feels like Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone. It really does between these two teams. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's been a lot of fun. So we're going to go right back into the action here. We're going to have to redo this draw, though. So this is picked up by the Islanders, is what it's going to be, I would imagine, as it's John Gabriel Pajot, and yes, it is. So now Pollock will get this one. So it is Pollock and Pellick here for William Lambert's squad. So first line defense, you got to get used to that. Ryan Pollock and Adam Pellick. So this is picked up now by the Sens. Intercepted in their own area. This is now going back to the Islanders to try to get set up here deep into the zone. Noah Dobson, pass across, Pajot. He's going to hide that blue line side. Pellick will help Dobson get this puck. John Gabriel Pajot gets worked off in between the three Sens, able to find it somehow. Kyle Palmieri off the backhand. And this is still on the right side red line. Kept it in the high slot. Slap shot there for Pellick. He blasted that way wide to the left side red line. Stutzla will get this one cleared out, but this is just through the neutral zone. Here's a chance for Palmieri. Palmieri will just wire this in, and we get a stoppage with 12:49 left to go in the second. I'm not quite sure what that one is, to be honest with you. 15 shots apiece for both. I think this could be a penalty against the Islanders. Again, the Islanders, if I'm reading some lip language correctly, I see some F-bombs and I'm not too happy with it. I want to see what the actual penalty is. So this should be the second power play for Ottawa, 2 in a row for them. 2 power plays for the Islanders. Oh, now I finally see it, but this is all the way toward the left side of your screen. Well, there's just some roughing there near the players' bench that was a little unnecessary. I was looking more toward the play, wondering what the hell was going on. I was just way off to the outskirts with nothing going on, and a needless penalty. So DeBrincat, Tkachuk, Batherson, Stutzla, and on the power play side, Stutzla is going to be the lone extra forward on the defense. And again, with the way that he can stick handle, I would understand that. Hopefully he can be a good two-way forward. I haven't seen too much of that right now. Short-hand chance for Clutterbuck. That one got fought off and then went wide. Batherson picks it up. Batherson now Stutzla. He's going to be the quarterback here, I would imagine. Good moves. Beats 2 defenders. Tkachuk now working his way to the left side dot. Drops this one back to Jake Sanderson. Sanderson in the high slot. Stutzla will collect. Now Sanderson. Sanderson still in the high slot. Now Stutzla working his way along. Slap pass for DeBrincat for a shot. Gets deflected just wide. Sanderson. Now Sanderson will give this back to Tkachuk. Goes back in the high slot for Sanderson. Into the screen. Alex DeBrincat will pick this one up. Former Blackhawk. Now Sanderson. Stutzla. Now near the right dot. Sanderson still in the high slot. Fakes it to Stutzla. Holding. Extra pass Tkachuk. He's working his way in toward the net. Sanderson, they got to fire something here. Good puck move, but they're keeping him on the outside. Islanders keeping that shape. Stutzla still looking for space. Here's a shot for DeBrincat. That one gets blocked by the Islanders before it ever hit Simeon Varlamov, but this is still with Ottawa's. They've had all sorts of puck possession. They've had it from the minute 30 right now. Pass across. Hit in the face is Brady Tkachuk, and he might have got hit with an inadvertent stick as he dropped it. He is shaking out the cobwebs in the eyes. This is going to be a 5-on-3, I believe. That will go against the Islanders. I imagine there's going to be a penalty call. It was a good puck movement there from Stutzla. And I don't know if an elbow hit him in the face. We'll get a chance to hopefully get another look at that. Mayfield got the stick right up in the mouth of Brady Tkachuk. So it's a 2-man advantage. What's going on, Alec Nava? How are you doing, buddy? if you are following along and you want to jump in, let me know. So it's a 5-on-3 here for the Sens. It's Tkachuk, Giroux, Batherson, Stützle, and DeBrincat on the power play side. This has been a good contest, even though there's just been one goal. Lots of action here across as far as the north and south puck movement. I'm going to go ahead and throw you in here if you want to. If you just want to listen, that's cool too. So 11:23, still have to go. We're going to redo this face-off. So John Gabriel Pajot can't win it here for the Islanders as this is picked up. DeBrincat in the high slot now. Stützle. You got a lot more space there for the cross pass shot if you want it, and that's exactly what happens. I think Alex DeBrincat just deposited the 1T goal. They were looking for that for all sorts of time on the 5-on-4 with the one less defender there. That left them so much space toward the left face-off dot. And you got some Deadpools in the crowd for Ottawa side, and they're happy because it is a power play goal here for the Ottawa Senators. They scored on the 5-on-3. They made it look easy, and they moved the puck around. And it was DeBrincat as he was waiting for the 1T. What a ripper there by Alex DeBrincat. Again, he probably should have scored that, but the one thing that really surprised me was, man, he smoked the top of the bar, and that was Drake Batherson, from DeBrincat. So they have a double minor on the Chiron right now for the Ottawa Senators, and we'll see if that's actually correct. I did not see blood. So this is a 5-on-4 now. So power play goal. Drake Batherson, his 5th of the season at 8:48, as we got 10:45 left to go from Stützle and Giroux. So 10:45. 5-on-4. It's 3:18 left to go on the power play side of it from what they're showing. So I'm just going to go with it right now. So this picked up now on the defensive side. Now Giroux has it toward the right side wing. Giroux now from DeBrincat. DeBrincat on the left wing side of the red line. He's still holding and surveying. They're really moving this puck around as Ottawa. Again, they're always just looking for this 1T from what we're seeing. Toward what I'm trying to relay to you on TSN. That's what they're focusing on pretty hard right now. As this gets intercepted, Claude Giroux working his way to the high slot, takes a back pass there for Wallstrom. Picked up now by the defensive end for the Sens is Mathew Joseph now on the power play line numero dos. Picked up now. Mayfield trying to just hold his line there with Pollock to get a block. This goes back to Mathew Joseph here for the Sens. Joseph working his way to the left side red line. He banks this one back. Now here's a chance for Stützle. He's been on the ice for a couple of minutes now. Centering pass across, and what a stop there. I think that was on Batherson as he just scored the previous power play goal. And Semyon Varlamov able to slide toward that left post and deny that wrist shot. Sanderson will get this one deep here. Stützle will skate in. Picked up now by Sanderson. Sanderson surveying near the high slot, gives it to Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk looking for the deflection. That one goes just wide. There is nobody back there. Jake Sanderson's going to have to come all the way back and pick this up. 1:40 left to go in the Ottawa power play. They scored on a 5-on-3. They're trying to score on an extended 5-on-4 as there was a double minor. Stützle in between the skates, try to get picked up. Pass to Tkachuk. That goes just wide. Sanderson will keep this in. Ottawa still on the power play. Stützle now on the right wing side. Sanderson back to Stützle. He goes for the 1T, and the twig goes farther than the puck. And now we'll see what happens here as the Islanders could have something, but it's 2-on-3. Beauvillier fires one right in the catching glove of Talbot. He goes out and tries to play this one. We get an inadvertent whistle. Ottawa doesn't like it as well. We'll see if we're going to get a delayed penalty on our side. So what I had at 8:37 that I can officially relay to you on the penalty side was Scott Mayfield got a 4-minute high sticking against Brady Tkachuk. Talbot tried to play the puck previously, and we got a whistle stoppage. 1:14 left to go on the power play. Not sure if the ref just lost sight of the puck or what the actual inadvertent whistle was. I actually apologize to you. I didn't notice that. 8:37 left to go in the second period. Ottawa scored on a 5-on-3 power play goal. They're still 5-on-4 now with the double minor. Intercepted into the neutral zone by the Islanders, and that one will go up and on a play. I know why that one stopped. 8:26 left to go in the second stanza. John out here with you from the Canadian Tire Center. It's the first time I get a chance to look at a full game and do coverage of the Islanders and the Sens. I've actually really enjoyed this one. 19 shots to 16 now in favor of the Sens. And that's really because of a 5-on-3 and extended 5-on-4 right now. That's why they have a 9-4 shot advantage in the period. As you get a look in the TSN side of Drake Batherson. This is one all the way back. Picked up now by the Islanders as they can try to kill some time. And then Pellick will get this one in deep. This goes back to Jake Sanderson. Well, let me do a better job here of actually pulling up my lines of what's in front of me. So Stützle will get this in deep. This gets intercepted there momentarily. Pellick trying to do some yeomanship, but this gets intercepted now by the Sens. Working to win the high slot. A backhand gets bounced in front, I think, off of Casey Cizikas, and then it touched the glove hand of Varlamov and held. 36 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4. So Ottawa's done their job. Drake Batherson, he tried to stick handle and toe drag in between a couple defenders, and the backhand got flubbed off of a stick, which made it easier to save for Varlamov. So 3 shots and 1 goal here for Drake Batherson. He's the goal scorer for the Sens, and the goal scorer for the Islanders was in the first period on the power play from Oliver Wahlstrom. So 2 power play goals in this contest. That's why we're sitting at 1-1 tie right now with 7:59 left to go in the second period. Jean-Gabriel Pageau wins the draw. This goes all the way back to Alex DeBrincat. Still 30 seconds left to go on a 4-minute double minor. DeBrincat. Now Sanderson. Jake Sanderson holds near the high slot. Picked up by Giroux, now back to Sanderson in that same spot. DeBrincat looking for the pass across. His Tkachuk had some space on the doorstep. And again, Ottawa's power play, although they've scored in the 5-on-3, it looks the exact same for all of their entries and what they want. They want either Batherson or DeBrincat to be on the left side dot. They want them to be able to get that shot off, much like a Alex Ovechkin type of thing. Picked up and behind the office. Batherson looking for his second. He fires that one off of JPG. And this goes all the way back as this is collected by the defensive side. Nice interception by Noah Dobson, but an offside entry. That's going to get a stoppage. 7:10 left to go in the second period. It's a 1-1 game now, courtesy of Drake Batherson, the 5-on-3. Come right back. Let's finish off this second period.
There's a night at the Home Depot at every location. A night in our stores. See a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen, string lights, and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our swim for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. Legends of the game return to the court to rewrite the history books. That was amazing.
Alec, I appreciate you listening in, bud. I got 6 votes on the YouTube side. Will the Islanders make the playoffs? This is a simple question here for you. 5 out of 6 say yes. Only 1 says no. I think they're a playoff team right now. From what I'm watching, I think a lot of us have to wonder whether or not the Ottawa Senators can come back and do a little bit more damage. Again, they're 4-4 at the Canadian Tire Center, but they've only won 1 game on the road. So that's got to be a hell of a lot better. But I also think missing Josh Norris and then missing Chabot and Artem Zub tonight on the defensive side will hurt Ottawa. But still, for the way that they're playing offense, you figure, as I said this going into the first intermission, this is not a bad team that I'm watching right now. It really is not. I like the way that they're able to play offense and move this puck. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more variety in their power play, but that might be by design. Back in the official action now as this is picked up and intercepted by Brock Nelson, and then dumped back down the ice where the Islanders can get reset and try to get their breakout going left to right across your radio dial. Cam Talbot will play this one with the giant stick blade intercepted. Noah Dobson scores! And I'm not sure if Cam Talbot, he's just trying to play that one quickly, how that ended up going right back to Noah Dobson so quickly. If that was just an inadvertent turnover there, or if Dobson just caught Talbot sleeping. I want to take a look at this on the TSN side when we get a replay. So here comes Talbot toward the left side red line. He plays a pass, and this falls right to Dobson. Might be deflected there by Anders Lee, to be honest with you. So Anders Lee, I believe, is going to get this goal as he got a stick on it. So that's why it was a little bit crazy there. I was sure that Dobson didn't score right off of the side of it. I think this might have got a piece of either Lee or one of the Ottawa Senators out in front. So I'm not sure whether or not that goal is going to be changed. It's Noah Dobson right now for his fifth, but I believe that might have gotten deflected. So picked up now as the Islanders just scored. They're looking for another long wrist shot. This one gets knocked aside there by Talbot and then turned over. Now here's a chance again for the Islanders. Put toward the blue paint side. Talbot will knock this one away as one of the Islanders and Sens come together and behind the cage of Talbot. This goes back to Simeon Varlamov. He's going to play this quickly. The Islanders got to get this out as the Sens are quickly on the attack. Good outlet pass off of Sauce. Picked up here, Mathew Barzal. He's trying to use that body to hold off near the left side faceoff dot. Barzal still keeps it alive towards a couple of sticks as Wallstrom now with Pollock. Wallstrom now Anders Lee. Extra pass across, and Mayfield can't hold this in. So they have to go back there as Lambert's squad. Picked up now by Batherson as he play this one around. Good active forecheck there as Pajot watched the puck go up and out of play. 5:43 left to go in the second. We're going to get another stoppage and pay the bills with a commercial break. Islanders take a 2-1 lead. Come right back.
We have the tools to make holiday gift giving magic for all those project doing, technology loving, tool organizing, wood shop working peacefully in your life. Get Black Friday savings all through November at the Home Depot. How Jewels get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. That was amazing.
Do you think you can relax? Have you seen everything there was to see? Or have you realized you can't look away and that the game has never been better? That is hockey. It's a beautiful time for basketball. The championship contenders, Celtics Hawks, and Warriors Suns.
Noah Dobson's going to get credit for the goal, but it's a double deflection. Shot here is going to hit Stella, go down, and then hit the stick of Hammond and go underneath the bar.
So as we're talking about, it will be Dobson's goal. I got the look on there, and they said on TSN it was a double deflection that will be credited for Noah Dobson. So that hit sticks on both teams and then went in the back of the net. This is a chance for Brock Nelson, and off the offensive zone draw, Anders Lee able to push it forward, and this is picked up now by Alex DeBrincat right to left. Are the Ottawa Senators in this second period, although it's about 5:30 left to go in the second. Ottawa now is down 2-1. Good chance for DeBrincat out in front, holding on the left post is Simeon Varlamov. And now a chance for Pellick. Pellick will play this one as he passes it to Nelson. Nelson gets this one toward Lee as this is fought off the puck. As he's holding on the left side post is Talbot. It's Nelson and Lee coming together there, trying to knock this in with Beauvillier. Travis Hamonic wants to make sure that the goaltender and everything else is okay. He got a little bit busy back in behind the cage. So Noah Dobson right now on the ESPN side, he is again credited for that goal, his 5th of the season at 13-15. Right now it's unassisted, but again, the unassisted in quotation marks, I would say it was assisted by a bunch of other goal sticks on both teams able to go through the net. But a good job just by Dobson to fire that one as Talbot was just trying to get back into the cage. So a couple goals against Talbot in this game. One was a large 5-hole shot by Wahlstrom, and then trying to get back into the cage was Dobson. But hey, if you're the Islanders, you take advantage of the opportunities that are there, and you get your goals when you need them, even though you're being outshot 23-19, and you took back-to-back penalties, which gave you one against, although not on the even strength part of the marker. That's why you got a lot of plus for the Islanders, and they won a lot of games. So Mayfield reset in his own end as we're hitting the 5-minute marker of the second period. John here with you from the Canadian Tire Center. We're watching the Islanders and the Sens for the first time this season. First time for me to be able to cover a game between these two teams, and it's been a lot of fun, honestly. Picked up now off the backhand side by Johnston as this one gets fought off there by Talbot. Pick it up now is Jean-Gabriel Pageau. He got worked off the puck there by one of the Sens, and now this goes back to Stützle. Number 18 has it now. He's trying to skate in through the backhand side. Good stick check there by the Islanders to knock it away from him. They don't want to see him putting on those hands that show to skate in through the zone. And now in across the red line, Islanders will get it as the Sens take their change. Picked up now by Mathew Barzal. Anders Lee lost it. This goes back off the clearing attempt to the Ottawa Senators. Now to the left side red line. Brandstrom will get this one ahead into the neutral zone. The Sens will pick this up, and Pelech will intercept, although it's busy back there. Pelech lost it. Now a shot through the red line side, but this bounced out in front of white jerseys, not anybody in black. As this is picked up now by Wahlstrom. Wahlstrom able to skate in between two Sens, trying to be the first to get to it on the left side red line. Wahlstrom still working with it right now as this goes back to the Islanders. Pelech. Barzal gets worked off the puck. Watson will pick this one up. The Islanders holding off the backhand between Pelech. Now Pelech from Pollock. Working his way into the high slot. Pollock with a slapper. This goes off of Talbot, off the pad. He's just going to hold on, take no chances. 22 shots now for the Islanders. They got 2 goals. 23 shots for the Sens. They have 1 on the 5-on-3 power play. Noah Dobson and Wahlstrom are your goal scorers. Dobson with the latest at 13-15. Drake Batherson also in the second period, May 48 from Tim Stützle and Claude Giroux. So most assists before 1 goal all time. Mathew Barzal's got 17. He's on the same list with Marcel Dion of the Red Wings with 73-74 with 18. And I think went all the way up to 23. But again, Barzal's got that many points, and he is shooting the puck, and the team's doing very well, and he's a high plus-minus. There's another stick up into the face of Mathew Joseph this time as he's got the bell rung. And we'll see if anything's going to be called out of this. This would be the second time there would be an inadvertent stick to the face of Lane Lambert. Can't like that one, as this is a battle for the puck. And oh my goodness, Kel Clutterbuck spitting chiclets might be Mathew Joseph. So that came together and escalated quickly. And I think the Zebras, they know that there's going to be a penalty here, as maybe they come together, or maybe not. Maybe that was inadvertent. If they're going to get away with this, or the Islanders, they would feel pretty fortunate. I've seen the referees come together. One side wants a penalty. One side is unsure. I'm sure we're going to have one. As some of these coaches are looking on a little bit confused. But again, I don't think you can believe it in the sense of 2 of those in one game right off the draw on that side. And now they are talking the Zebras to some of the other reviewers there to make sure if they got to look at it to determine what they want to call. That's my guess. We're getting a little bit of a review that isn't an official review from coaches, I would say, as they're still talking over at the board. So we are going to get a call. This will go against the Islanders. So high stick minor penalty. So now it's only a 2. So this will put the Ottawa Senators back on the power play. And I really don't have any questions about that one. It was Kel Clutterbuck right in the face of Mathew Joseph. And a little hi, how are you doing there toward the right side of the chiclets. And no concern for me. It was just whether or not it was going to be a 2 or a 4. I was surprised it took as long as it did, as the coaches are getting things squared away. I think Lane Lambert just wants to get a little bit of clarification as far as all that, but he's not happy because, again, that's the second one. And it's, what, 4 penalties now for the Islanders in this second period alone? This could give Ottawa another opportunity with DeBrincat, Tkachuk, Batherson, Stützle, and Sanderson on the ice. So Brady Tkachuk, as it stands right now, would be set to take the draw against JPG, as you still have the 2 Deadpool guys dancing around on the power play side. So Ryan Reynolds' representation picked up now by the Sens in their own end. Tkachuk holding toward the right side dot, looking for that pass across again, and the Islanders knew it. They had a dive block out in front as DeBrincat's still waiting near that left dot. This is the same looking power play, but now they're working a little bit more behind the net. Now Sanderson. Now Tim Stützle. Tkachuk is going to try to tap this one to Batherson. Now Stützle. Batherson plays it back to Stützle, looking for DeBrincat one more time for the right side dot, and this one gets cleared down the ice. So again, I don't have a problem with what the Sens are trying to do, but I would like a little bit more diversification as far as getting some shots on goal. Drake Batherson lost it in between 3 Islanders, and this is cleared down the ice because the puck possession looks good, but I think you can have some finishers here between Tkachuk and DeBrincat. This seems like a good high-octane power play. I'd just like to see them shoot a little more rather than just look for that cross-crease 1-T. But if it works, it works. Especially in a 5-on-3, I think you force it more than in a 5-on-4. So Stützle has it now near the right dot. As he gets this back here to Sanderson. This goes back to Batherson. It's loose out in front off the rebound. And Tkachuk had got stonewalled by Semyon Varlamov off the backhand. So good-looking job there. They actually got a couple shots on net, and there was a rebound. You look for a big opportunity, and now you're going to get an offensive zone draw. I'd like to see more of that in the 5-on-4. Mix that up. They're showing the inadvertent high sticks that a lot of these players are taking. They are not taking care of the Islanders. They're keeping the stick on the ice. They've even hit one of the guys on TSN as they got caught with the stick blade. Won by the Islanders. Now here's a chance off of Batherson, up the backhand side. Pick up now loose in front, but nobody's there to hold that blue line side for the Sens. They're going to have to go all the way back in their own end and behind the office of Talbot to pick this one up. Trying to go quickly right to left. Derek Brassard. He's going to drop this one. Pick it up for Giroux. Giroux holding on. Fakes the slapper. Giroux's going to get this back. Now bombs it into the high slot. Picked up now off Pajot block. Giroux lets it go through the screen. And this one gets knocked aside by Semyon Varlamov. So I like the back end of that power play there for Ottawa, to be honest with you. Shane Pinto with a couple of shots. It was Varlamov that had to make some saves. I think you got to make him work a little bit. This goes off the kick plate. Ottawa lost it near the right side red line. Picked up now by Wahlstrom. Sauce pass all the way across beautifully there for Brock Nelson. And now Anders Lee will get this one back to Nelson. He's going to play this here for Noah Dobson. Nelson has it now. He almost lost it. Still keeping it alive off the toe drag. Noah Dobson fires to the screen. That bounced off of one of the players in front. I think that was Batherson. Ottawa will try to pick this up now. 30 seconds left to go in the second period. Anders Lee off the backhand. Loose out in front. Nelson centers this one to Dobson. And it goes just wide of the right post. Anders Lee getting worked over and behind the net. Anthony Beauvillier trying to come in there together to get that puck loose. And one more rush opportunity here for Ottawa if they can make something happen. But they cancel off the neutral zone. Get an offsides call against the Sens. 14 seconds left to go in period numero dos. John on here with you from Canadian Tire Center. It is a 2-1 lead for the New York Islanders over the Ottawa Senators. Shots are now dead even at 25 apiece, but the Islanders have the lead on the score chyron, 2-1. A pair of power play goals were the last, and then Noah Dobson got it unassisted at 13-15. Picked up now by the Islanders in their own end. This is dumped across, and that's how we're going to end the second period. 2-1. The Islanders have the lead going in the dressing room. They have a 1-goal lead just like they did in the first, but now it's 2-1 instead of 1-0. Come right back. We're going to call third period action in a little bit. Alec, again, I appreciate you, buddy, listening and following along. The man known as Joe Rogan on the YouTube side says, thanks for covering the game. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm really enjoying this contest between these two teams right now. So full coverage will be from me. Like, again, the top part of it, hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com. It does all the broadcasts on this with the game story as well. So I'm really appreciating it, and thank you for the comment there, because this has been a lot of fun between these two teams. And again, it's a good opportunity for me, and thanks for the comment, in the sense of getting a game covered early on the East Coast side, because we're going to have a little bit of late college basketball games in between Duke and Kansas tomorrow, and then Gonzaga and Texas on Wednesday. I will get to both of those. The Thursday contest is going to try to be with Cooper Hopkins between Tampa Bay and Calgary. My normal stream is out. You're the only guy doing play-by-play. Earn my sub. Hey, I appreciate that, man. No problem. I cover this stuff week to week. It's not always NHL assignments. It's pretty much NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and college affiliate stuff. So that's what I will do throughout the year. And when we get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's when it gets to wall, and I try to get between every single team like that. So appreciate it very much, man. But let me give you, while you're in here, I'm just going to do the reset as far as what I'm covering this week officially. I know I will get the Tuesday and Wednesday assignments. So I'm just going to go back to this and click on this really quickly, and then we will update the box. So it's going to be, again, the Islanders Ottawa today. That is the assignment that we're doing for the night. Tomorrow is Duke and Kansas at 9:30. And then Wednesday is Gonzaga and Texas. So a couple college basketball assignments. That'll both be at 9:30 Eastern, my time. Because, again, I'm covering from the Michigan side. So be staying up late with everybody. That'll be on ESPN and ESPN2 within Tuesday and Wednesday. So flip between those. Thursday, I'll be on the call with Cooper Hopkins, either for Calgary and Tampa or Colorado, Carolina solo at 7 p.m. Friday is going to be an off day. I'm going to try to play a little bit of Tactics Ogre Reborn. I imagine that's going to get shipped to the house by then. I do want to play that on the PS5 side. It's a little bit of off day Friday. And then Saturday, if I can get to it, we'll be back on the call either 10 p.m. Eastern between Vegas and Edmonton, or if Cooper Hopkins, I imagine he's going to be busy on a Saturday side with the wife and all, so I'm not going to get in his way. But if he does want to cover Calgary, Florida, that's at 4 Eastern. But Vegas, Edmonton will probably be the likeliest time for Saturday if I can get to it. But we know for sure Tuesday, Wednesday between Duke and Kansas and Zags and Texas, I'll be on the call tomorrow. So that'll be confirmed for Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, MLB play-by-play, one of those situations in there, Joe, where I like to do that, but it would be nice if I actually had someone else to work with the double broadcast booth, because there's a lot of downtime there, and then you also need to have a lot of stats and everything else ready. So if you don't have that, then there's a lot of dead air. You just can't have that on a baseball broadcast, especially when you're covering basketball and hockey. There really isn't dead air, so you don't have to worry about that. There's so much action going on. I'm going to go ahead and just type these goals into the box. So if I'm quiet there momentarily, is because I'll just cut the Twitter Spaces side so Alec doesn't have to hear me type the whole time.
This season, this point than there ever have been before. Are you guys cognizant of how common it is, and how much hope does that give you here in the third period?
Yeah, just look to win the period, I guess, even if we tied up, send it to extra time, obviously.
And Joe, curious here, are you rooting for Islanders or the Sens? What fan are you for which of these teams, and what do you feel about your team in the season, regardless?
Unfortunately, they weren't able to get another one near the end of the period there. But what has been working so well with the man advantage for Ottawa?
Well, Lauren, we talked a little bit about urgency and desperation, especially from your best players. And so we get to see that here on this power play. So you've done a really good job now for the Ottawa Senators of getting yourself back into the game. And now you have this lifeline, a 5-on-3. And I like the fact that they don't waste any time in directing pucks to the net. And that's not an easy shot for Drake Batherson either. Like, that comes from distance, and he's one-timing it. So it's not the easiest shot, but it's direct, it's purposeful, and it gets you back in the game, and it's 1-1 at that time.
And for Claude Giroux picking up an assist there on that goal, he extends his point streak to 9 games. One of the big storylines, Mark, coming into this game was, of course, the health of the defensive unit for the Ottawa Senators. And we were talking in the pregame about how kind of put more of the onus on the offensive side of the game for the Senators. What have they been doing right so far through 2 periods?
Yeah, well, Laura, for me at least, puck management was a big one. There's one thing you can always help out with there, especially when it's a little thin on the back end. And just good puck management, a lot of help from the forwards. And we saw some shades of that there in that second period on a nice little sequence early on where Nick Golden, with a really nice stretch pass, nice heads-up play, Derek Brassard likes to go right up to the middle, provide a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a drop pass play there instead of driving the middle. And Alex DeBrincat with a beautiful sauce pass to Parker Kelly, who earlier on in that shift was terrific coming back on the back check. And then later on, the not so good. On that Isles goal, we all saw the stretch play where there's an opportunity here for communication. And it was lacking a little bit here on this specific play, where Cam Talbot actually handles this little dump-in play. And it looks hard-wise. They have numbers back. Nick Golden can't really see what's going on up the ice. And Noah Dawson corrals that turnover and just throws it at the net. Now, it goes off 2 players, right? It goes off of Castellan, then it goes off of Hammond stick. So Cam Talbot with no chance there. But there was no outlet pass for Nick Golden on the wall there. I believe Parker Kelly would have been playing on that left side. He gets scrambled up a little bit on that entry. No help. That's exactly what they should not be doing right now. But they have an opportunity to come back here in the third.
Well, Mark, that's a situation you and I have both been in, where you're the defenseman going back and you're under pressure. And really, that's all you can do. I mean, if you're really nitpicking, you can say, well, we can kind of hold on to the puck, eat a hit, and then pop it to the middle. But, like, that's really nitpicking on that play. That puck's got to keep going, and the onus is essentially on the forward to get back and get into a position so you can get the puck out.
And it's tough little
Communication.
Yeah, communication for sure. And a little bit of a blemish for Cam Talbot, who's just been playing so well, obviously coming off that 37-save performance against the Flyers on the weekend, and who's faced 25 shots so far here tonight. Well, when the intermission continues, we will head to downtown Toronto in the Hockey Hall of Fame to check in with Gio Rena and Bruce Ilya ahead of tonight's introduction.
With DirecTV, I can get live TV and broadcast together. Football, housewives, football, housewives, football, housewives.
Okay. So let me just get a little bit of a reset here for you, and then I'll just take a quick little bathroom break and then be right back. So let's do the reset first. So Drake Batherson able to score at the 8:48 mark from Tim Stützle and Claude Giroux. It was a 5-on-3 where they were working for that left face-off dot shot for a one-timer as Batherson fired a bomb that hit beautifully off the top of the bar and in to make it a 1-1 contest. And then Noah Dobson, as Cam Talbot goes in and plays the puck from behind the cage, Dobson able to see that and get the puck back in before he can actually kind of get settled in there. But it's kind of a double deflection in between the Islanders and the Sens that gets past Cam Talbot and in the cage, and it's 2-1 and the Islanders with the lead. So after 2, it's the shots 26-25 in favor of Ottawa, hits 18-13 Islanders. Islanders lead 22-20 in the faceoffs. The Islanders have taken 4 straight penalties, 2 high sticking penalties. One of them was a double minor. That's what allowed Batherson to score on the 5-on-3. So that's got to get cleaned up for the Islanders side of it. I thought that the Sens actually played a pretty damn good game so far. This has been a good contest. I said that a few times between these two teams already. I've enjoyed this on both sides, and this could go either way, but I would imagine Coach Lambert's going to want a little bit of a cleanup there because some inadvertent sticks was able to catch a goal here for the Sens. And for the Islanders, I think you just continue as long as you stay out of the box doing what you're doing there, getting some shots and going back in there and creating some opportunities because they've looked dangerous. Ottawa's looked dangerous, and this is a game that Could go either way right now as we're going to the third period. You bet on the Islanders. So Islanders in regulation pays double. Local money on the Easy Government Sportsbook, hopefully. I like that. So I'm going to go back into the top of it. I said I live in Edmonton, but I'm not really an Oilers fan. I just like to bet a few bucks every day on long shots. Happens every day in the NHL. Hey, and you know what? I think the one thing I'll say for you, Joe, as far as all that, didn't they just say this in the TSN side for it, in the sense of there has been a historical amount of comebacks so far early in the season. So betting it that way, I think you're a smart man, to be honest with you. You never know what's going to end up happening. And for the Sens, 4-4 at home. They haven't looked good on the road. So at least they're at home today. Who knows? They get a couple more power plays or get a couple opportunities. Pretty good. I will be right back, folks. Just give me 1 minute.
Sitting across from him back home in Sweden this summer. We both knew the call might come that day. We waited for it together on the same day the last couple of years. So to be there when it happened, to see firsthand how much it meant to him, to his family, his boys, it was really special. Daniel Alfredson, Hockey Hall of Fame, class of 2022. I'm so happy for you, Alfie. Well, for more on the significance of Alfredson's induction, here's Janaretta alongside Post Media's Bruce Garriott.
Joined now by Bruce Garriott with Post Media. Bruce, the man's a legend in Ottawa for the Ottawa Senators. No greater senator than Daniel Alfredson, and now he's a Hockey Hall of Famer. But he's been waiting. He's been eligible since 2017. I assume it was just a matter of time. Give me a sense of his legacy that he leaves with the Ottawa Senators organization.
Well, Gino, I think the best thing you can say about Daniel Alfredson is, though he's from Sweden, people in Ottawa think he's from Ottawa. He represents everything about that community that people want. He was a pioneer in speaking about mental health. What he did on the ice was amazing, but what he did off the ice in the community also makes people feel in Ottawa like he's one of them, right, Gino? And, I've been covering this team for 30 years, and I've never had occasion to come to the Hockey Hall of Fame, but I always thought someday Daniel Alfredson would get in, and he's certainly deserving to be among the players who are in the Hall of Fame, because he led this team to the Stanley Cup final in 2007, and he's been a quality individual.
Ottawa Senator fans can't imagine the organization structure without Daniel Alfredson as a part of it. He hasn't been to this point, but now that we're seeing a leadership and ownership change shortly, do you think that maybe opens up the door for him to get back to politics?
I really think we're looking at a situation now where Daniel Alfredson is sitting back right now. He's been contacted by 5 to 6 groups that are interested in joining the Ottawa Senators. And we know there's been a ton of interest in this team since the Melnick family put it up for sale. I think what Daniel Alfredson is saying to the people who follow him, I'm not aligning myself with anybody right now. I want to see where this goes. And then once somebody actually buys the team and has control of the ownership, if they want to call Daniel Alfredson, they'll be more than happy to get involved. And I also think that person should call Ryan Reynolds, because a little star quality isn't going to hurt either.
And now they both present star quality, because Ryan Reynolds, a megastar, and Daniel Alfredson tonight becomes a Hockey Hall of Fame.
We saw a couple of fans dressed up in Deadpool and Senators gear.
So Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be on TSN at 8. Daniel Alfredson, the Ottawa Senators legend and one-time Detroit Red Wing at the end of his career, will be inducted tonight. So that'll be pretty cool. Sorry for a little bit of the hunger and frivolity there, because trying to work the elliptical a little bit helps with the cerebral palsy and all that. a little hungry. So let's do a little bit of a reset. I'm sure there's not going to be anything else going on until after this game is over. It's going to be the LA Kings and the Calgary Flames. So we'll hope for Mr. Cooper Hopkins that this team can win 2 in a row. Calgary's 6-6-2 on the season. The Kings are 10-6-1. 8:30 will be Carolina, Chicago, and 9 p.m. Eastern will be St. Louis, Colorado. I honestly thought about doing the 9 o'clock game. Glad I ended up doing this one, to be honest with you. Get a little bit earlier start before the later college basketball games. So let's flip over to the NBA side. What's underway? So I only got one other small recap that I have to write is the Raptors and Pistons tied at 15. That's just for local coverage for myself. Hornets and Magic underway, 27-16. Hornets got the lead. Hornets are 3-11 on the season. Magic have a better record with Paulo Branquero. That's amazing that the Hornets are already this bad this year. I'm not saying that they were going to be a great team, but I felt like they should have been a borderline playoff team at least, and that's not looking like that's going to be the case. A lot of other basketball games on the docket, although it's not fully loaded. NBA TV will have Thunder Celtics. Celtics 10-3 on the season. They have the, I think, second best record now in the East at 10-3. As the Bucks are 11-2, I want to say. They're 10-2. I have it in front of me now. So 10-2 for the Bucks, 10-3 for the Celtics. Suns and Heat 7:30 Eastern. Suns are 8-4. Heat are 6-7. Heat might be due for a little bit of a bounce back as far as that team's getting a little older. Clippers 7-6. Rockets 2-11. That's going to be at 8 o'clock. And then the late game is Spurs Warriors. Warriors will be playing off the back-to-back. They beat the no, they actually lost last night. Excuse me. They lost to the Sacramento Kings. They try to get a late comeback there. The Warriors have not won a game on the road. They are 5-1 at home. They've done nothing but lose when they are on the road. But thankfully for them, should be able to turn that around, I would imagine, because if you have a team like that and you can't win a game on the road, then I don't even know what to tell you. If you can't win games on the road in any league, you're not doing anything. And that's not me being smart. That's just the obvious statement that you got to make. Let's see what we got for NFL side. We have our Monday game. That'll be getting underway here momentarily, probably in another hour. And let's see college basketball side. Top 25's in action. Not just yet. These are all 8 p.m. Eastern side. And then I have to make a mention at the end of our broadcast about something just very quickly when the game is actually done for those that stick around. Get a little bit of a reset there because we're going to be getting puck drop. So I appreciate you guys sticking around between Twitter Spaces. I got Alec Nav on here, the legend, and then I also have Mr. Joe Rogan on the other side for YouTube side, which is that's always fun. You gotta love that. Hopefully you win on your bet, but. So the year of the comeback, that's what they're saying on TSN, and that's what Ottawa's going to need. Although they're only down a goal as we're back underway now. This goes back in behind the office of Talbot. Ottawa's 0-5-1 when trailing after 2 periods, so they're one of the teams that hasn't had a comeback win just yet. So Pajot, as he gets knocked away by Mott, picks it up now, intercepted here by the Sens. Johnston will get this one now. He's going to dump this down toward an open right wing side. Picked up now by the Islanders toward the red line. Cam Talbot will go out and play this one, and this one's going to be a lot less fortuitous in the sense that there's not going to be a lot of traffic around him, and he can actually play it. So 19-10 left to go in the third period. John out here with you from Canadian Tire Center. And again, I'm glad I get a chance to see that come across because I always wondered. I haven't had a chance to actually look at that name too much. Dumped in by Ottawa, picked up now by Semyon Varlamov as the Islanders will be going right to left across your radio dial in this period, but it gets intercepted off the backhand, trying to get picked up here by Stützle. He fights in between two Islanders, and this goes back into the defensive end for the Sens. Again, I love those jerseys. They got the all black with the red piping toward the pants, and the Islanders with the white, blue, and orange mix with the white tops. Here's a chance for Stützle. Plays it too far. Parisi will get this one off the backhand side. So Zach Parisi on the third line nowadays. He's been one of the top New York Islanders as far as plus minus, sitting at plus 12 as the one-time opportunity just got fanned on. Drake Batherson. He's going to let one go, but this bounce off the stick of Sebastian Aho, the defenseman. Picked up now. Stützle. Try to get centered out in front there, and that one goes just wide as Mayfield got a piece of it. Stützle with the spin move. Picked up now by Batherson. As this goes back now to Holden. Holden off the long wrist shot. That one gets blocked and up and on air. 18:03 left to go in the third. 2-1 contest in favor of the New York Islanders. And if we can get you your in particulars as far as the team stats, is 26-24 shots in favor of the Sens, 19-13 on hits for the Islanders, 23-20 face-offs in favor of the Islanders. The Islanders have committed 5 penalties in this game right now, so that's got to be better. They took 4 straight in that second period. So Lambert's going to want that cleaned up there on his side. And DJ Smith, the guy has to know for the head coach for Ottawa that his team's in it. If they can continue to do a little bit more rather than just look for that cross-crease 1T, which works great in the 5-on-3, but hopefully they can kind of mix that in as we go along throughout the year and diversify that power play attack. So Holden trying to get this out now as the Sens can look for a long outlet pass. It's a good one there for Batherson, but he got worked off the puck. Picked up now. Noah Dobson will watch that one go by as this goes back across the red line now. Here for the Sens. They rocket this in off the kick plate. Orlama will calmly play this ahead to his defensive. Ryan Pelech will get this one. Romanov will get this down. And this will not be ice. This will have to come be played there by Talbot, as this is picked up now by the defense of Jacob Bernard Docker and Jake Sanderson. Played in through a couple of stick blades. This is blockered aside there by Varlamov, holding on that left post now. It's getting busy in behind his office. Mistake of trying to get to it, but Mayfield has it now off the backhand. Try to get cleared in, and now the Islanders can go ahead and take a change. And I think the Sens will do the same. 27-25 on the shot board, 16:30 left to go in the third. And across the red line now. Sens will get this back through a nice pass ahead off the flip, and now here come the Sens. Off the backhand side, try to get picked up by Sanderson. Sanderson now being worked over by Pollock toward the right side red line. Pelech also looking in there as well. He's going to get this now as Pollock able to kick it to him. And now the Islanders can break out. Mayfield with Bolivier, and then Anders Lee. Let's go stick this side there by Talbot. Slap shot. That one was teed up in front with all sorts of traffic, and Talbot was able to find it in the catching glove from Brock Nelson and hold on. 16 minutes left to go in the third. So chairman of the boards, most hits since 05-06 active. Cal Clutterbuck 3620, Matt Martin 3460, Alex Ovechkin 3,336. Those are your hit leaders since 05-06 among active players. And when you throw your body around that much, sometimes you end up not having as long of a career, but you are more respected by your teammates than I would imagine if you're not. If you're a physical player and that's how you do, you pay the bills and you get the job done, it's a short shelf life sometimes, but you got to be able to be physical in this game. Be able to shoot, skate, pass, hit, do all that stuff while going at a high speed. These guys are really, really good on the ice, and not even just the NHL side. Cross pass, and that was stick this side by Talbot, and the shot from Johnson was blocked out in front by the Sens. That could have been a lot more dangerous, and I didn't have to make a crazy call. As a tripping is going to be called against the Islanders. That is their 6th penalty of the game, and I think they're guilty of tripping Stützle again, as Kyle Palmieri might be the same guy that tripped Stützle the first time. So another opportunity here as Palmieri and Stützle. They seem to be a magnet for each other right now, and Palmieri, I thought he did a little bit of a careless reach in behind the cage. That's just me. But right now, it's still a tripping at the 4:33 marker for Paul Mary. That's the second time he's in the box for tripping that same specific player in Tim Stützle. So now here's an opportunity for the Sens on the power play. Once again, they're 1 for 5. They have 11 shots. 11 shots, no doubt, aided on the 5-on-3, which they spent some significant time. As this one bounces up in our play, still $1:55 left to go in the Ottawa power play. It's their sixth of the game, folks. 28 shots for the New York Islanders. They got 2 goals. 27 shots for the Ottawa Senators. They got 1. Sanderson, Stützle, DeBrincat, Tkachuk, and Batherson on the power play side as the Islanders win another defensive zone draw. As Casey Cizikas is 2 for 2, and Sanderson will play this one. Talbot. Sanderson now. Going to try to go left or right across your radio dial or the Sens on their 6th power play. Going to pick this one up now for Batherson. Stützle, stick handles, puts Cal Clutterbuck in a turnstile. DeBrincat waiting near the high slot, working his way toward the middle of it as 1T gets sticked aside there by Simeon Varlamov. Sanderson can't hold that blue line. And now Stützle going to have to go back, and his backhanded pass, he had to be quick about it, and that was going to be a turnover. As this is picked up now by Casey Cizikas as he took his sweet time before he got the dump in there. So good work by Casey Cizikas, short-handed a couple times, couple face-off ones, nice clear. Now another pick there by the Islanders. This is a short-handed 2-on-1 opportunity. Pajot, couldn't find the pass. It bounced off of the skate blade as he just dodged a big bullet there was Talbot. Extra pass across goes just wide as Tkachuk. Watch that one go all the way back as Pajot able to get that down. And now Parise and Pajot take a change. And Parise gives him a pat on the back, no doubt about it. So the power play now down to 30 seconds. Ottawa looks right now like they're going to go 1 for 6, but maybe I'll put my foot in my mouth here. This goes back in toward the left side red line. DeBrincat tries to come together with Pulock. DeBrincat gets it momentarily. Pulock, as this gets battled out of the air by Mott and Shane Pinto, and picked up now by Batherson. Batherson will recollect with Claude Giroux. Extra sauce pass to DeBrincat. Spins, holds off the backhand, leave it here for Batherson. Now Giroux lets it go through the screen as the power play is down to 5 seconds. Giroux waiting near the right side faceoff dot. Here's Batherson, keeps it alive to DeBrincat. Now Giroux, extra pass across. Varlamov down, but the shot never came. And the penalty's been killed. They're now 1 for 6. Ottawa with the puck possession. Batherson waiting for the pass across. Now here's Pinto from Giroux. Shane Pinto's got it now near the right side dot. Try to get tipped there by Brassard, backhanded facing the wrong way. It was stopped by Varlamov. Picked up now by Sebastian Aho and Romanov as they'll go ahead and take a change. 12:50 left to go in this third period. John Hunter with you from Canadian Tire Center. It's anyone's contest right now. It's a 2-1 lead for the New York Islanders. Shots are 29-28 in favor of the Ottawa Senators, courtesy of 6 power play opportunities, but they've only struck 1 time. Picked up in through the neutral zone. And behind the play, Aho took a stick up to the face. And Mathew Joseph, I'm not sure if he's the guilty party. He is. He's going to the box. And I don't know if we're taking a commercial break just yet. They're showing this in behind the play. When we do come back, yes, we are. The Islanders will be on the power play.
Get your TV together. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
12 votes now on this one. I just left it up. Will the Islanders make the playoffs? 75% of you say yes. 25% of you say no. I think at this point of the season, it would be difficult to imagine them not being a playoff team. But again, it's still early, but it's also, as Cooper Hopkins said last couple of days ago when we did a game, it's not a newborn anymore. So the Islanders are doing themselves a good service here, going 10-6 so far in the regular season. When you look at the Sens, they're 5-8-1. They're 8th in the Atlantic. They've kind of buried themselves a little bit. I would say a little bit disappointing, but also at the same time, when you're missing Shabbat and Zub for the week, and then you're missing Josh Norris there for an extension over a month and a half or so, that can put you in a situation where you get behind the 8 ball. But as I've said, between Stützle, Tkachuk, Giroux, especially Stützle, you can see that skating ability. Alex DeBrincat. Hey, I mean, maybe I know Brady Tkachuk is as good as he is, and he's a leader, no doubt. I could see Alex DeBrincat in certain situations if they wanted for DJ Miller, throw him on the first line that was Stützle, because one guy can stick handle, one guy's looking to shoot. I think that makes a lot of sense as far as what they would want to do on a line, but that's just me. So Matthew Joseph is in the penalty box right now. John Gabriel Pajot is 50% of the faceoffs right now, make it about 48. He's now 11 of 23. It's going to be a defensive zone draw win by the Sens. They're able to take their time and then dump this all the way down the ice. So that was beautifully done. And now we'll see what happens with the Islanders going right to left across your radio dial. Brock Nelson will leave this back as they're going to try to get skated and set this one in. Off the backhand side is Mathew Barzal. He's looking for his first of the season, although he does have 17 assists, and that was sticked aside there by Cam Talbot. So Noah Dobson will get this one from Simeon Varlamov. Dobson going to leave this one back for Mathew Barzal as we have 12 minutes left to go in this third period, about a minute 24 left to go in the power play. Shots are 2-1, and the goals are 2-1, in favor of the Islanders, 29-28 on the shot board. And I'm waiting for my feed to actually buffer, so hopefully I did not lose internet access, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me out there still, as this is still a long buffer, so either I've lost ESPN Plus access or we just lost this feed. So I'm going to try to reload this right now. Hopefully that is the case. So it is back now. I was able to click and reload this here, so we'll see what happens and what I missed. So did John Gabriel Pajot just score? My goodness, guys, I'm really sorry if I ended up missing that one. Man, oh man. It was stuck on a buffering side. I humbly apologize. So John Gabriel Pajot makes it 3-1. That was buffering at the worst time I could ever ask for. So 3-1 lead for the New York Islanders. Man, that really makes me angry. So picked up now by Batherson, and not the goal, by the way, just the fact I couldn't relay it to you guys. As this goes back down and play with the high sticks, so we're going to get a neutral zone draw with 11:26 left to go in the third. 29 shots apiece now as JPG makes it a 3-1 lead for the New York Islanders. 123 goals, 17 power play, 16 shorthanded. And again, you just can't take penalties, but it was the Islanders in a situation where they have struck twice with the extra man. And even on that side, they'd be up by 2-1, but it's now 3-1 with 11:23 left to go in the third. So his second of the season on the power play at the 8:21 marker. And we'll see what the assists are going to be for Noah Dobson and Mathew Barzal. So there you go, 18 assists for Barzal on the season right now. No goals just yet, but he's got 18 dimes. So another offensive zone faceoff win there. Casey Cizikas will pick this one up as Batherson will try to get this out with Brandstrom. Now Derek Brassard will come in there together with Cal Clutterbuck. Brandstrom getting worked over in behind the office. Picked up now off the slap shot. Mayfield intentionally wide just to get this around the kick plate. 10:55 left to go in the third as the Islanders still working with this and behind the left side red line with Matt Martin, former Pittsburgh Penguin. Picked up now toward the right side dot. Martin will try to get to it one more, has to absorb a body check. Aho also looking in there as well. Martin still getting worked over near the left side red line. Picked up now by Kel Clutterbuck. Backhanded out in front. Big time save by Talbot off the 1T. And now here's a chance for Ottawa. Trying to break out. DeBrincat keeps the puck alive, just skating between three Islanders. And now this goes back to Sebastian Aho. Played nicely in through a couple sticks was Kel Clutterbuck. And this goes back to Cam Talbot. Talbot gets this pass toward the right side red line, but good active forecheck there by Andrew Lambert's squad, the New York Islanders. As we're getting close to the halfway marker, where we've officially hit it now. It's 3-1 in this third period. That is your score. Islanders trying to defend this cross pass. This goes all the way back to Holden. Holden now will recollect in between the face-off dots and get his pass across, and the Ottawa Senators trying to go left to right. Backhanded pass. DeBrincat shots that one just wide toward the left side of the bar. Big-time bomb shot, get rattled around the kick plate, and now Stützle. Bernard Older's going to throw this one, shoots it into the screen. Picked up now as it was tipped by Giroux. The Islanders now with Pelech and Nelson trying to get this one down. Nelson gets this to Pelech. Johnston lost it in between escape blades, and now here comes Brock Nelson, although it's 1-on-3. He's canceled off. He's still trying to use that big body to get around Brandstrom as they're holding each other quite profusely there on the left side, and there's no call as the Islanders will put this one down deep. Picked up now by the Sens off the spin a couple of times off the half pirouette. Dobson comes together near the players' bench. Here's the Senators now. Travis Hamonic lets the bomb go. Shot that one just side of the left post. Picked up now as Zach Parise gets knocked down. Sens have this now. Brandstrom will get this in deep there for Shane Pinto. Intercepted as Pinto goes back near the high slot. Try to get centered there. There's Pinto. One stop, second opportunity. Two big saves by Varlamov. That could have got Ottawa back into this contest. He was working his way toward the right side red line and then toward the middle of the slot. Two saves by Varlamov. Pinto couldn't elevate the puck. And it stays 3-1 as we get a break. Still updated you before Google could. Hey, I appreciate that. Makes me feel a little bit better than my feed usually never freezes at all, and then it froze the worst time, which was a goal. That's like the first time I think that's ever happened to me. I'm starting this since a couple months for, I would say YouTube, but doing Colorcast and Twitter Spaces. Colorcast from January, Twitter Spaces over the last couple months too. So regardless of how many people follow along or listen, I'm happy to have Alec on the Twitter Space. Happy to have you, Joe Rogan, on the side for the YouTube side of it. It's a lot of fun. I just want people to actually appreciate it and want some game coverage, want some live play-by-play story coverage, whatever else it is. That's what I care about the most. It's not the likes and all this stuff. I mean, hopefully over time we can get a bigger audience. It's always nice to have. But having people bounce in and out, I don't think does as much of a service. It might look good for the numbers, but I'd rather be interacting with people. I'm just being honest. I'm not blowing smoke.
All of the sins behind the scenes all season with Breakaway, presented by Bell. Watch episodes at ottawasenators.com/breakaway. There's Mama, the 30-foot high spider. It's made of bronze.
So there is a 30-foot high spider apparently toward the Ottawa side that's called Mama, and it's made of gold. That's very creepy looking. Sorry for anybody from Ottawa. Back into the official action now. 8:20 left to go in this third period. The Islanders are feeling pretty good right now. They're up 3-1. Again, Ottawa is one of those teams that don't have a comeback lead when trailing going into the third period. It looks like they may not again unless they get a few more power plays. But they're 1 for 6. They've had a lot of them. They got the puck in the high zone. As Pinto, as we just left from the break, he got blockered aside a couple times by Semyon Varlamov. So Travis Hamonic now, again, the former Islander, he's going to play this one back to his defensive partner as they continue to crisscross and then go ahead and take some changes. So 7:40 left to go in this third period. John Andre with you from Canadian Tire Centers. They're still passing across in between each other on the defensive side. Picked up now by Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat gets worked off the puck there by Noah Dobson as Armalov will come in there together. Intercepted there by DeBrincat. DeBrincat will pick this one up. Now the Sens will fire this toward the goaltender, and this one goes just wide as Semyon Varlamov just watched it go by the left post. This goes all the way back, but this is not iced. picked up now by the defensive. Holden. Holden now, it's Nick Holden and Jacob Larson. Jacob Larson making his Sens debut tonight. Again, he's played about 160 other games and stuff like that, but first time with the Sens. As the shot board's now 31-31, but it's a 3-1 advantage for the Islanders. It's a 2-on-3 developing. Off the backhand is Brady Tkachuk, centered on the front, scores! Brady Tkachuk with a beautiful behind-the-back pass, and this one's going to go to Claude Giroux. Makes it a 3-2 game. So Claude Giroux gets on the scoreboard. That was a beautiful no-look using the body. Good outstretched pass toward an open left wing. Tkachuk fights off Aho. Nobody picks up Giroux as he's making his cut toward the net. Anthony Beauvillier is late to get there. It's now 3-2. So will the Ottawa Senators actually get a comeback? Will they get into overtime? Can they get their first win when trailing after 2? We'll see. It's now 6:52 left to go in the third. And that feels good to actually make a definitive goal call because I felt like it could have done the same thing when JPG scored for the Islanders. So we're going to do this draw again at center ice as now it's a 1-goal game with 6:50 left to go in the contest. So Claude Giroux scores as he cut beautifully toward the net. Brady Tkachuk able to hold off Sebastian Aho with a no-look off the backhand. And now it's an immediate ice against the Sens, so they cannot change. So Stutzla, saucer pass to Brady Tkachuk. No look backhand, Claude Giroux. As good as you like it in front of the doorstep. All he's got to do is ring the doorbell. And he did just that. 3-2. Picked up now by the defensive side is Wahlstrom will get this one. Barzal will intercept. We'll see if the Islanders will answer here if they're just going to try to hold on here. 940 career points, the most on the Sens roster. So Claude Giroux brings that heavy experience, mostly from the Flyers and the only partly Panther and Sen so far, although he's come back home in the offseason. When you do get Josh Norris back, the Oxford, Michigan native, you got to feel pretty good because he's an incredible player that you can also have on that first line side. That kind of moves some things around. 6 minutes left to go, and all of a sudden, what's a 1-goal game now between 3-2. Intercepted there momentarily as this goes back for the defensive side, and Alexander Romanov going to dump this one in there with the help of Noah Dobson. Try to be the first to get to it is Holden. Holden now plays this pass across. It's going to bounce right back to him, and now the Sens will bank this off the kick plate, but now intercepted by the Islanders. In Casey Cizikas and Matt Martin. Cizikas trying to fight off Holden. This is in between his skate blades. Here comes Matt Martin to try to ply the puck loose as Pollock will get this one, but this goes back to the Sens. It's busy in behind the office of Talbot as players fall. Picked up now by the rookie, Shane Pinto. Pinto turning on the Jets. He's going to go ahead and try to take his change as this bounced off of the players' bench, and now the Sens will dump this in deep. Picked up there by Pellick. Mayfield, Aho needs some help. Again, Aho was out against the goal against as Brady Tkachuk sent that backhand pass. No look to Claude Giroux cutting to the net, make it 3-2. Travis Hamonic gets this one off the kick plate. Picked up now by the Isles. This goes back to Mayfield and Aho. Aho trying to get this in deep. This is fluttered, picked up by the Sens and toward the logo. I like the logo, by the way. Picked up now Hamonic with another bomb. That one gets blocked this side there by Simeon Varlamov. 4:30 left to go in this contest now. Sebastian Aho off the backhand, trying to make the smart play off the inboards, and he does. This gets picked up by Anthony Beauvillier. His wrist shot swallowed up by Cam Talbot. 4:26 left to go in the third. We are going to get a commercial break on TSN side. Sens within 1. We'll see what happens in the final 4:26 or if we get the OT. Stay tuned.
You hungry? Man, I know a place. This is the city that never sleeps. But if you need the rest, I've got you covered. For the night at the Home Depot, at every location, at night in our stores, see a brand transformation. We bring out the tools you need, like snowmen, string lights, and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our equipment for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do
Hey, man, I appreciate that. I'll try to see some other fans next time anybody does his stream, and I want them to know to come check you out. I appreciate that, man. If you really want to do that, I'm more than open to it. I'd be humbly appreciate that if you would. I'm not going to beg for anything, but if you want to do that, that's very cool on your part. So your buddy does some of the same stuff. Again, he probably has other windows and things open and graphics and stuff probably to keep people entertained. I tried to do that a couple times with the windows, but I got a not a copyright strike. I got a copyright claim because one of the boxes on ESPN was showing some video and stuff that couldn't be shown in other countries apparently. So I kind of just went with the regular face cam on that side. That makes it easy. So then I can just relay to you because I got the TV doing the broadcast and then the cam on here with the computer monitor. I don't have a multi-monitor setup or anything else like that. But hopefully, at some point, this LG C1 get a chance to work out this 4K TV and actually do something that isn't broadcasted just in 720p. So if we do get to the Stanley Cup playoffs at one point, I can get YouTube TV and it broadcasts in 4K without freezing. I think I'd pay the extra $60 or whatever it is for a couple months just to get playoff coverage, just so I can see what 4K actually looks like. So picked up now in the action. It's 4:15 left to go in this third period. John out here with you. It's a one-goal game now in between the Islanders and Sens. It's 3-2 now as the Sens scored the latest here, courtesy of Claude Giroux. Now Noah Dobson. This gets played on the boards off of Anthony Beauvillier, but it's still iced. 3:59 left to go in the third. The Islanders cannot change as the Sens. They lead on the shot board 33-32, but they are down on the scoreboard 3-2. I know I said this in the first period and I said it in the second, but I'm going to say it again. This contest has been very entertaining between these two teams. And I don't awfully normally just say that because I like watching hockey, but I mean, I can definitely see the Ottawa Senators in maybe another season here improve a little bit more, get healthy. They look pretty good, but so do the Islanders. They're looking to bounce back from just that dreadful road stand that they got stuck with last year trying to go into a new building. I think a 13-game road stand can bury you. We'll see what happens with the Coyotes now in the intermittent of their 14-game stand. So off the bench, too many men on the ice is what they want there is the Islanders. But again, if the puck's not played and they're near within 5 feet, that's not going to be called. So this gets picked up now by the Sens as they dump this one down deep. Eric Brandstrom will get this one in for Hamonic. Pellick now honors Lee. Good pass ahead there for Brock Nelson. Not honors Lee. He fired a wicked wrister that was caught in between the catching glove of Talbot and then pried loose. Now Batherson will get this one. Batherson will play it. Still has it now. DeBrincat. Tyler Mott trying to make a move on Pellick. He gets worked off the puck. 2:50 left to go in this third. Ottawa running out of time, but they get the interception, trying to work their way in behind the cage. Travis Hamonic holding. Now with Matthew Joseph. Matthew Joseph. Hamonic with the bomb. Stopped there by Varlamov. Collected by Ottawa. This is loose out in front of Semyon Varlamov. Still loose. Ottawa's going to get to it. Holden. Pass across. Derek Brassard fan on the 1T. Holden with the bomb. That one goes right in the catching glove off the bounce to Varlamov. And you can take a breather. 2:29 left to go in the third. Ottawa got close there, but the probably last 10 seconds of the play, it was all between the sticks and skate blades of the Islanders. There was not a Sen in sight, which allowed Varlamov to recover. But we are going to get an offensive zone draw here for the Sens with time running out. We got about 2:29 left to go in the third. So John out here with you from Canadian Tire Center. This is a nail biter right now between the Islanders and the Sens. Again, all the other games will be getting underway after this one's done. We got about 3 other NHL games on the docket, and basketball games will be getting underway. So I got a little early contest on the East Coast. So I appreciate Alec for following along. I appreciate Joe Rogan on the other side for the YouTube side. Again, love the name. And it's picked up here for Pinto, a chance for an offensive zone draw. Battled in between some skate blades, able to win it there are the Sens. And this Bernard Docker shot is going to bounce back to him. He's going to play it. He's going to shoot it again to the traffic. The Bernard Docker shot goes just wide. Brandstrom will hold. Alex DeBrincat now. We'll play this one. This goes to Brady Tkachuk. Bernard Docker has it now to Brandstrom. Brandstrom plays this to DeBrincat. Empty net now for the Sens. Docker will get this one to Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux holds, waiting for some time. He's near the right side dot. He needs some space. Giroux will get this now. Tries to center this pass across toward the left side dot. Pick back up now. Spin move by DeBrincat. Still holding. Now Brandstrom shoots, and it goes in off the embankment, and this goes almost off of Varlamov, but he holds with the glove hand. 143. I thought that might have been banked in off his rear end, to be honest with you. I was a little hesitant on the call just to see where the puck would bounce. That's what the Sens were going for there. That was a pretty neat idea, as that almost got a double deflection in front by Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux. So, face-off loss. Here's a chance for the Islanders, and no tripping call as we're still underway right now. Varlamov will play this one. It's turned over. The Sens have possession. It's a 6-on-5 with the empty net. Batherson will play this pass across. Picked up now by the defense. Claude Giroux is the extra skater out there right now. He plays the pass back to his defense. Giroux needs to be quick about it. Turned over. Casey Cizikas, this could be an empty net goal. There it is. Brock Nelson gets the empty net goal. That's going to be murder, she wrote. All you do there, right there, it's 4-2. That should be the final. The Islanders are going to win over the Ottawa Senators. It was a play across there from Giroux as they tried to work D to D off the pass. Good interception by Brock Nelson. Casey Cizikas, as Nelson broke out toward the right wing side, finishes it off. The Islanders are going to win this game and improve to 11-6 on the season, and the Sens will fall to 5-9-1 as the Deadpool fans with the armor of the Ryan Reynolds guys, they put their head down. They're doing some of this right now as Brock Nelson gets his 9th of the season, courtesy of the empty net. Got about a minute left to go in the contest, though. Casey Cizikas and Cal Clutterbuck will get the assists. Played in with the glove hand now by Shane Pinto, as there is no empty net on the side here for Ottawa, but they're down 2. It's 45 seconds left to go in the third. Picked up by Shane Pinto from Batherson, and this will go all the way back. So Bernard Docker is out there for Sanderson right now, first-line defense, 625 points percentage this season, is tied for 8th in the NHL. This bounces off of Derek Brassard's backside. Derek Brassard will pick this up near the right side red line, and will get dumped down the ice by Zach Parise. Just killing time right now. Jacob Bernard Docker will play this pass. Here's a chance for Hamonic. 15 seconds left to go in the contest. It's going to be a 4-2 win for the Islanders, so I appreciate everyone else that has followed along throughout this contest. It's been a pretty exciting one at that, and the Islanders were able to get a big win. They took a little bit too many unnecessary penalties, but they were able to take advantage of where it counts and win this one 4-2 as coaches DJ Miller a little bit angry as he's going to the locker room right now. 4-2 is your final. I will be back tomorrow as far as covering some college basketball games. I want to, just before I close out this broadcast tonight, come on, hold on, New York. Again, I just need the Blues to win tonight, and I got some free beer. That's pretty good, too. Although, isn't it? Let me just check. It is the Blues against the Avs, and hopefully the Blues can get back on track. Remember, they started 3-0 on the season, lost 8 straight, and now won 2 straight. Colorado is certainly looking to be rounding into form, so I will watch that game a little bit later when I'm writing the story. I just want to make a brief mention here, and my thoughts and prayers to everybody around the University of Virginia with the shooting and everything else that was going on Sunday night. Again, I caught late wind of that a little bit today, actually, before we got back into the broadcast. So I want to mention thoughts and prayers out for those guys, and I will be back tomorrow to cover some college basketball between Kansas and Duke. That'll be about 9:30 Eastern. So hope you guys enjoy that one. I will talk to you soon, everybody. Peace, and thank you for following along tonight.